We are live. We are live. I am the H-Town vet, and I would like to welcome you to this live stream, a place where we will discuss a variety of benefits available to veterans, active duty members, and their dependents. Come into the room, family. Come into the room. We're going to give you a few moments to come on. I see y'all starting to come in. Come on into the room. We got an interesting topic tonight, as always. So we need y'all to get in here. Thank you. And for any new listeners, we'd like to welcome you also. Well, family, we're going to get started. We see that the family is starting to arrive, and we appreciate you for being here, for joining us in this unique experience. So we're going to greet everybody as our first. We want to say Kevin says good evening, veterans, and then we have Coasty says hello, H-Town and the family. Then we have Coasty saying hi, Kevin. And then we have our brother Joseph Price, our FBA brother, Foundation of Black American brother, part of my lineage. He says, how's everything, H-Town? Hello, vet family. Then we have our brother Charleston coming into the room. And our brother Charleston says, hi, H-Town, Kevin Colbart Sr. and Coasty. We're so glad that y'all here. We're glad that y'all have joined us, and we appreciate y'all. We have Alaskan Ice checking in, and we appreciate that she's here also. And Charleston says hi to Joseph, and Joseph salutes, and I salute the whole chat, and we thank you for being here. Family, we have some great news. Let me tell you something. Family, do you know over 320 something people was watching the live stream last time by the time we finished? Did you hear me? We've had 200 and something before. It's usually the lowest we've had is 50 to 80 to 100. We had over 300, and that's all. That last live stream, we almost got 400 views on that, family. Do you hear me? And it's because of you. It's because of Betty Bob's coming in here, reminding us how many people are watching, how many people, hit the like button. Since I mentioned that, smash that like button, family, as you come in, and everybody's greeting each other, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So glad that you're here. I think I've greeted all the people that have chatted. And for those of you that are here, and you're new to the channel, in order to chat, you got to be subscribed 5 days. You can listen in. Nothing wrong sitting back and listening to us. But to participate, to keep down trolling issues, we have a 5-day waiting period for those who would like to chat. And apparently it's been effective. So family, let's get into it tonight. Let's talk about it. Now, for those of you that are new to the channel, I am the H-Town vet. I am a Army veteran. I am a Desert Storm veteran. I went into the military in the 1980s, did my tour. And I'm a Desert Storm veteran, and I'm a disabled veteran. And I currently live in Texas. Now, family, we don't get to do this. We don't do this as often as we used to. But family, in the chat, if you don't mind, for the new people or people that hadn't been here from the beginning, let them know, if you don't mind. Let me pull it up. Let us, everybody, if you don't mind, let us know your branch of service, state or country you're currently living in. Branch of service, state or country you're currently living in. That's if you're outside the United States. So of course I'm H-Town, and so for example, I was in the U.S. Army, and I'm from Texas, currently living in Texas. Everybody's greeting each other. We're enjoying it. Family, that's what we here, to support, to encourage, to give direction. Oh, look, everybody's starting to do it. Gary's back in the house. So Alaskan Ice says, Army, Texas, I'm here with you, sister. Let me know when you move to my side of town, sister. We can't wait to have you over here. Now, Gary says, Army, and he's in Texas. Oh, Texas is standing up. Hold on. We got brother Joseph Price, Navy, in Cali, representing California and the Navy. So we've had the first three, me, Gary, and Alaskan Ice, representing the Army. But of course, we got our brother Joseph. We got several Navy members. Might have more Navy members than we do Army. And thank you, Joseph, representing the Navy out of California. We got MG Smith, Air Force, Tennessee. It's all good. Now listen, here's Charleston coming in. U.S. Navy, Pennsylvania native. Huh? Say born and raised. Alaskan Ice say, okay, I will. Because, sister, the way it works over here, I-10, it's going to be traffic. 59 traffic, but it moves more than I-10 going toward downtown. It is the West Park toll. If you get there before 6 get kicked off, you can get it moving down there. Other than that, it's going to be a little wait, but it's a straight shot to the downtown area. And now we have almost everything we need out here on the west side. We don't even have to go toward Highway 6 as we used to. So family, thank y'all, and I'm glad that y'all greeted us. Let us know your branch of service, and we appreciate you. Like I say, I'm the U.S. Army, and I was from Texas. Now, family, if we have any retired military in the house who did 20 credible years or more, let us know. Put RM for that. Let us know. And make sure you smash that like button, family. Do that for us. Family, we're almost at 2,000 subscribers. We're at 1,800, and I want to say, let me check and see. We at 1,813 subscribers, and that's because of you and your commitment, sharing the channel, participating in the broadcast, boosting the algorithm, where to recommend it to more people. Now, family, here, as we just shown, it's regardless of your branch of service, you are important. Whether you're Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, or U.S. Army, including Space Force, you are welcome if you feel like you're part of what we're doing. And we salute all the branches of the service, veterans, active duty members, Coast Guard, not Coast Guard, National Guard, and Reserve. We salute all of you. As we said, smash that like button, family. Smash that like button if you hadn't had a chance to do so. Please do that. Okay, we're looking good on that. Let us continue. Now, well, hold on. Before we get on topic, well, we're going to go ahead and get on topic tonight because this is going to be very interesting. So now, when we say we're getting on topic, for those that are new to the channel, we're going to cover the information that we have, and then we can talk about that, and we'll go into any other things. That's why we want to move pretty fast here, so you have a chance to share any information you have, any questions you have. We're going to get into them. So let's get into the topic for tonight. And tonight we'll be talking about and answering the question, why does the VA often label favorable medical evidence as insufficient or inadequate? We're going to talk about it, right? You've gotten all your information together, but they're saying you've come back lacking. Now, what's the problem here? You followed the so-called rules. Why are they denying or asking you for more information or asking you to attend another exam? So the introduction, let's talk about it. For you to understand, and I want to ask some of y'all today, what I've learned from my experiences, the 4 functions of the VAB, or the Veterans Benefit Administration, aka the VA, the ones that assign VA compensation. Remember, they're broken down into 3 parts: the VAB, which is the Veteran Benefits Administration, the VHA, which is the Veterans Healthcare Administration, and the Cemetery Administration. Now, we're only talking about the benefits aspect of the game. Now, there are 4 areas that from my experience dealing with the VAB, they have 4 functions, 4 main functions. They do other things, but one is to approve and deny claims, schedule exams and re-examinations, distribute VA benefit entitlements, such as back pay, awarding certain approvals for VA home loans, death benefits, and things like that, and investigating veteran fraud. Now, if y'all can think of any other main functions the VA has, put it in the chat. Let us know. All right? Because we want to know what you think. Because we just did, we left the 4 main that we see. Let us know, family. What else can you think of that the VA, their function is, as far as formally? But we're going to talk about other things, how they actually function in practice. That's what matters. It's not what they say on paper, but what they do in action. And this is what we're going to be covering here tonight, family. I hope that's okay. So let us keep going. Now, the first thing, of course, we just said that the VA claims office deals with you submitting claims. Now, these could be many different types of claims. They could be for original or direct claims or primary claims. Those are ones that most people file. Or it could be a claim for an increase. It could be a secondary claim. But there's issues, and we want to talk about that we find out about these things, not necessarily from the VA. We have to find out about the different types of claims on our own from other people. And the VA are the ones that's the most experienced with it. Why aren't they informing us? Come on now. That's the first thing. The VA claims process. I want to ask you, family, if the VA claims process has been rough for you, put an R in the chat. If it has been smooth, put an S for smooth in the chat. Your initial claims, starting with your initial claims. Sometime it works out good for people. Was your initial claim, the first ones you filed, was it rough or smooth? Put an R for rough. And they show the first one you filed. Was it easy? Was it? So let us know, family. What our brothers, MG Smith said his first one was rough. A S if it was smooth. Don't mean that all of them was smooth. Let us know. Brother Charleston said his first one was rough. And H-Town said his first one was rough. Now, let us know. And this process is so important because we have to go at it in the dark unless somebody games us up. Now, we have our sister in here, and we have our sister Gwendolyn in here. She says, and we miss our sister. We hope she's doing well. Doing well. She says, good evening, family. Starting out rough, then smooth. Now it's rough again. How many of you, it's been a roller coaster? It's been a wave. You've been dealing with waves. Now, Gary said his was smooth. Now, I have to be honest. Mine started off rough. It was smooth. I was impatient because I needed the funds because I was getting to a situation where I wasn't going to be able to work. And when I look back, it really didn't take long for me to get the benefits. It just was a lot of high anxiety. Now I want to know this. I like what our brother said here. Brother Dennis said it was rough because of the VSO. Now, I'm going to tell you why mine was rough. You tell me why yours was rough. How many claims do you remember you got denied before you got approved? Mine was rough because of a lack of info. That's why H-Towns was rough, because I had a lack of info. Oh, Farm Girl is back. That's family right there. You know what's up. I forget what state you're in. You're in the Midwest. Now, listen. Gwendolyn Board say, my first, they denied 13 times. My first one, I think I was denied at least 3 or 4 times. I'm sensitive, so I didn't go back. Look, our sister Farm Girl back. She say smooth for the service connection. And I'm in the process of adding secondary. Too soon to tell. Let us know, family. So our sister, she letting us know she was what? U.S. Air Force. We got another U.S. Air Force in there. Farm Girl, Rebel, and what is that? MN for Minnesota. Let me know if am I right. Is that Minnesota, family? Mine, like I told you, was because of lack of information. Now listen to what Kevin, he say, good evening, everyone. Kevin, you said it before, but let us know your branch of service and the state you're currently living in. We've been shouting that out to everybody. Just the 2 initials. And I want to know this here, family. I want to know if Kevin and our sister Farm Girl Rebel, if you file claims, she said smooth for the first one, but for you, brother, was yours smooth or was it rough? If your first claim that you filed, brother Kevin Cobart Sr., if it was rough, put an R. If it was smooth, put an S. Now, family, let us know why you think your first one was either smooth or rough. Mine was because I had a lack of information, lack of understanding. I was pretty much totally naive. I didn't even know what VA compensation was. Now, Minnesota, good evening all. Everybody, our sister. See, this is what I love about our family. Everybody come in. We got like hundreds of loyal subscribers. They don't all come at the same time, but they come back. This is what I'm saying. And our brother Kevin Cobart Sr. says, U.S. Marine Corps. Now, family, we're going to talk about it tonight. Kevin say it was smooth. I got mine in 8 months. It took me that first one. I got it denied in 2000, In 2004, they denied that one. But in 2007, they gave me a 0%. 2008, they went back and gave me a 30, then a 50, because they made some errors, okay? Now, listen to what our sister Gwendolyn says. She say, mine was lack of information. That's what I didn't know. No communication with VSO, huh? I want y'all to listen to this here. In 2014, I put it all on the shelf until the last year, 2024, got 50%. Then in 90 days, now these last claims are dragging. It happens like that. It'll go fast. It'll be rough sometime, then it'll go smooth, then it'll go rough again. Mine, when I went from 50 to 70, 2 months. And it only took 2 months because it took them 2 months to do the CMP exam. After the CMP exam, the next week I had 70%. Did you hear me? You know what that means, right? You know why they gave it to me so fast, right? Because I qualified for 100%. You know how? I applied for unemployability when I got that 70%, and guess what happened? The very next year they gave me the unemployability, meaning the temporary 100%, family. Now listen to what our sister Farm Girl Rebel says. Smooth because I did get seen for spinal compression while in service. Took me 4 months. Okay, so some of you had treatment in service. I didn't, because I didn't know I had treatment for certain things, but not with my PTSD. Now, Charleston said, because I didn't know I had PTSD. Rough cause VSO mislabeled my claim. Who in here have ever had their claim mislabeled by the person representing you, whether that be a VSO, a lawyer, or a claims agent? Let us know if they mislabel it so it slowed your claim down. Let us know. So our brother Charles said his was mislabeled. My claim said asbestos. VBA, they said I couldn't claim that condition, even though was in my military records. So you have to use the right terminology. Won't the VA play that word game? They know what you mean. Now, they saying hi. So let's see. Now listen what Gary says. I got out in 1993 and didn't know I could file a claim until stumbling across videos about the PAC Act. Wow, that means when YouTube started coming, that's late on in the game. Amazing. Now, MG Smith. Now, anybody that was able to learn from social media, if you learn from social media about the claim process, or they made it smoother for you, if your claims process was made smooth by social media, put a SM for social media in the chat. If that helped you some. For me, I had already got it. It probably would have helped me. Let us know. Now listen to what our brother says here. Our brother MG Smith says, yeah, the same as you, H-Town. Rough, lack of knowledge and information. Come on, family. Can we talk about it, family? Can we talk about it? Family, we ain't been in there but 25 minutes, but we getting this information off. Now, Alaskan Ice says, my first claim denied, filed with a VSO, second time, 12 years later, VSO approved. Okay, so she's had good experiences with VSOs, bad experiences. All right, so look how many people that have been helped by social media. Look at this. Alaskan Ice is YouTube. Dennis says social media. Gary says social media helped him be informed. Of course, Alaskan Ice says social media, and specifically YouTube. And Kevin Colbart Sr. says social media. Now, Farm Girl Rebel. Now, I want y'all to be a little more detailed, because Sister Alaskan Ice has taken it to the next level. She was specific and said YouTube. Let us know what helped you. Was it Twitch? Was it Twitter? Where did you get Facebook? Where did you get most of your veteran information? I'm gonna tell you what helped me calm me down about protecting my benefits. It was YouTube. So where did you get most of your information? What social media? Now that you told me social media. Say YouTube here too. Okay. Kevin, YouTube. Alaskan Ice Course said YouTube, and I said YouTube. Now I don't want to miss anybody. Let me see. Let's see. Now, so you say Gary, I got 90, say I got out in 93 too. So she did not have a clue about the claims process. My Lord. See, this is heavy thing. Do you think that the VA has an obligation that when a veteran gets out the military, they should send information about the claims process to that veteran? They should seek the veteran out. Let me know. Okay, they talking to each other. But because it's pertinent, I gotta read it because I want. Farm Girl Rebel says, Gary, I got a 92. I didn't apply for my rating until 2023. I just didn't know about the VA disability claims. Wow. See, a lot of us are not just underinformed. We're uninformed. We're not misinformed. We just uninformed. Yes. Who you think the responsibility is to make sure that we know about these benefits? Is it the military before we discharge? Is it the VA should come up there and do a seminar for people that are ETS, not the military? Let us know. All right. Now, so we got, that's very interesting. I've heard that one too, Reddit. I'm gonna have to get on Reddit. Alaskan Ice says she learned off of Reddit. We're talking about that claim. This is going to help other people. Now, this is an interesting one. Brother Charleston said, Wikipedia, looking up asbestos causes and lung problems results. Yes. See, us, some of y'all are baby boomers. So I'm a Gen Xer. I'm one of the early Gen Xers, because I think the baby boomers end in 1966. I'm 68. I'm first part of the Gen Xers. Now, listen to what Farm Girl Rebel says. I paid for my spinal fusion on my own dime in 2004. It was decades later that I realized this all should have been covered by the VA. Lord, sister, that's just, you see what we do? We end up spending money we don't even know. Now, somebody should inform you. Now, listen to what M.G. Smith said. H-Town, my first claim denied in 2010. Started going to the VA for that condition. 15 years later, VSO got it through the first time, 80% TDIU, straight to 100% PNT, and the rest is history. Come on now, family. This is the only channel that's going to center you. I'm not trying to sell you a product, huh? I'm not asking you to book a session, huh? Oh, you got to come, huh? I don't have no secret rooms for you. This is what you're saying is what's helping the veteran family and those that are listening. You understand? Now, listen, because some people sitting back because they just don't know. I just didn't know. Now, Kevin Cobar Sr. said, I didn't know either. I filed in 2023. I got out in 2000. I'm amazed at how many people just filed in the 2000s. I felt bad because I filed in 2004. Well, I was mad then because I thought that lady was labeling me. Apparently she knew something. And that was a VA worker that helped me. Now, okay, hold on, family. Sorry about that. Let me, I had that alarm. Sorry about that. It's all good. Ceasefire, stand down, and disengage. Now, here we go. Now, Gary say, I think the VA would like to keep it quiet for budget reasons. So you saying the veterans should suffer because of their bottom line? I thought the VA was here to help veterans. No, they are here to approve or deny claims. I just told you, didn't I? That's the first thing, huh? Schedule exams and reexaminations, huh? Didn't I just say that? And we're going to get into the rest of them. Don't be fooled. Or they here to inform you about your benefits? No, not in practice. Oh, Lord. Now, this is going too far, sister. She said, how do you even have the courage to stay focused? Alaska Knight says over 50 claims filed, most denied. I'm sensitive. I'm sensitive. I just been walking away. I can't take rejection, but so much. I'm gonna say, hey, ladies in my water head, I know I got a big head. Now, Farm Girl Rebel said, bingo. This is what she's saying bingo to. Yes, because of budget, they bottom line. So do you think they're more concerned about their bottom line when it comes to the VA claims process, or are they concerned about properly processing claims? Are they more concerned about the numbers, or are they concerned about the quality of service given to the veteran? Dougie, I brought him up. Dougie, Doug Collins, the Secretary of the VA, is he more concerned about the numbers, or is he concerned about the quality of service when it comes to processing VA veterans claims? Let us know. We're going to talk about it. We're going to answer that question too. Now, Alaska Knight said new claims, supplemental, high level review. She's had all type. What type of claims have you had? Anybody in here had filed for increases? Anybody had new claims, supplemental, high level review? Anybody filed appeals? Okay, now they're talking. Now, help Gary. Okay, yeah. They helping each other. We just trying to make sure everybody blessed. Now, look how y'all communicating. Isn't that wonderful? This is just wonderful, family. Now, let us continue. And we're going to talk about this thing when it comes to claims, when it comes to filing claims with the VA Claims Office, right? With the VBA, the Veterans Benefit Administration. We expect them to follow the law, rules, and regulations. Am I right? That is an expectation because they are a federal government agency and is rules to the game. Huh? Now listen what Brother Charles say. I got out of active duty 81, meaning 1981, and in 1985 I got an honorable, then got information in the mail, started VA medical care in 1982. Look how long that is. That's the number of years, because civilian doctors couldn't touch me. Okay. Now everybody's speaking. It's time to huddle, talking, speaking to each other. Now Farm Girl say, I had a new claim for my arm radiculopathy. I had that word down, and I don't know what that is. Think migraines caused by my spine issue. Now I'm just waiting to see if I get a favorable rating. Yes, indeed. Now, how's that car been running, Sister Gwendolyn? How have you been doing health-wise, my sister? If you don't want to say it out loud, you can send me an email. But, have you been doing all right as far as the accident? Our sister was in the accident. We had covered it on one of the other videos, but she's been busy in life. She says 2 of my supplemental approved in 90 days. So was my higher level review and deferred. See? Now you see how that sister coming here? Respectful, handling business. That's what I'm talking about. regulations, the VA. But guess what? Even though they're supposed to follow rules, laws, and regulations, the VA has a history of breaking the rules. When you don't follow the rules, I call that breaking the rules, right? Now, here's the problem. So our Secretary of the VA, Doug Collins, he does a lot of talking and communicating. And I'm listening for whether he's going to be talking about the claim process being more streamlined, more clear, direct, more fair to the veteran, the rules and the laws being followed when adjudicating these claims. I don't hear him talking much about that. He talks about, let's talk about it. Well, we're going to take jobs away, and that's going to help improve the claims process. Well, he's talking about quantity. He's talking about how many people working at the VA. If we reduce the number, that's going to improve the claims. Okay, now, if you had one person working there, if they're not following the rules and regulations, it don't matter. If you had 1 million people there, if they wasn't following the regulations, it don't matter, right? That's the problem. So listen, they're focusing on quantity, right? How much money that they can save, their bottom line, right? They're focusing on quantity. The VA, apparently, a lot of times, Secretary of the VA, Doug Collins, talks about quantity. How many people work there? How many veterans claims went through? It don't say whether those claims were fairly adjudicated. So we're dealing with the quality of the service given to the veteran, not how many veterans got claims processed, how many were unjustly denied, how many of them were not given what they needed to complete the claims process. Okay, they said you need to do a high level review, but you actually needed to do a supplemental claim. In here, if you've been lied to by the VA, I'm talking about the VAB, the Veterans Benefit Administration, whether over the phone or in person or by email. I'm talking about the Veteran Benefits Administration that do VA claims. Put the word lie in the chat. If you've ever been lied to by the VA, let us know. They lied and told me I couldn't file a certain kind of claim. They lied and said that they didn't think I was in combat, but it's on my DD-214. You know why they did that? Let me tell you why they did that. And we're going to talk about that in a moment. Because when you are a combat veteran, you are considered to be a reliable historian. So what I write on paper is considered evidence, because they can't tell me I need to be recording and documenting things. They know I'm trying to keep my head from getting blown off. Or if you're in a war zone, if you're in a combat zone, that too. If you're in a situation where if it's on a ship, they probably can record it. The incident happened. Now, listen. So, Brother Charlton said he's been lied to by the VA. Now, listen to MG Smith. He says, H-Town, I have a judge lied to me in 2009 I had the information in my military records of my injury, and he still took it to Washington and denied it, and it was overturned in 2022. Now, let me ask you a question. Was all that necessary? Was that judge punished for his miscarriage of justice? Come on. He delayed our brother, MG Smith, for how many years? 13 years. How many years have y'all been held back dealing with a bad decision from the VA or from a judge related to the VA. My bad decision was from 2004 to 2008. So 4 years I was delayed. Now, Farm Girl Rebel says, I do think some people try and game the system, malandering. Yes, this is true. But I don't think the VA should start with that assumption. No, just like if it's something happened and somebody is accused of a crime, we are innocent until proven guilty, right? Even like me being a reliable historian, until I do something that's a blatant lie. Then if I do a blatant lie as a combat veteran, I'm no longer a reliable historian. That's why I always tell the truth, because I can't remember the lies. That's right. Which it feels like they do. No idea if they have lied to me. See, when I catch them in a lie too, it makes me wonder if anything they're telling me is true. Come on now. I ain't trying to drop no bars up in here. Now listen, Charleston said they lied. They lied because back in paper days, my info secure wouldn't release without my knowledge. Okay, yes. So quantity and quality. We're looking for quality decisions, not how many they adjudicate, the quality of the decision in the claim based on the evidence the veteran present. And what kind of evidence are you looking for? Clinical evidence. What's another name for clinical evidence? What word can you put instead of clinical? So somebody put the word if they know it. What's another word for clinical evidence? It begins with an M. What's another word for clinical? Anybody know? That's what it has to be based on. Put in the chat if you know. What's another word for clinical evidence? Sister Alaskan, I said it, medical. Clinical evidence is medical evidence, all right? So those words can be used interchangeably. And we want you to understand that, family. Our brother said it too, medical. Now, here we go, dealing with that medical evidence. Coasty said medical too. Clinical evidence is medical evidence. Now, this is the assumption based on VA regulations when there's clinical or medical evidence. So the same thing, clinical evidence and medical evidence for the veteran getting the decision in their favor, and that's clinical evidence for them not getting it in their favor. They're supposed to rule on the side of the veteran. But does this always happen? No. Come on, family. Clinical evidence is medical evidence. See, if we're not clear with the terminology, the VA will play word games. And sometimes they'll come up with new words and that'll confuse us. Now, listen to what our brother says. Brother Charleston says, medical, that's why I didn't file until 2019 because my information would be released to employer health insurance. Oh, and you didn't want them in your business. Gotcha. Now, another thing, so if that's the case, if there's evidence against you where they saying they're going to deny your claim and say no, if there's evidence for you that's in your favor and it says yes, you got evidence, they're supposed to rule on the side of the veteran. Anybody didn't know that? Now, another thing they're supposed to do, they have a duty to assist. They're supposed to do their due diligence and gather your medical records, in-service medical records. What other things do they have a duty to assist to do other than gather medical records? Somebody let us know in the chat if there's anything else that the VA has a duty to assist when it comes to helping a veteran with their claim. Let us know. Come on now. Anything other than records. Let us continue, family. We're doing this thing. So gather evidence, of course. Any evidence for your claim. That could be medical evidence, personnel files, DD 214. Can y'all think of anything else? What other type of evidence? Now when they're dealing with it, when you go to a CMP exam, here's the thing. That examiner should not just look at what they're evaluating you, right? Their medical opinion. They're all supposed to, so an evaluation is two things. It's their medical opinion and the clinical evidence. All right, the information that they got from other doctors, your personnel files, all of those things, right? Then when they do that, they're gonna make a full evaluation. But if they only use their clinical opinion, like a doctor did me when I was going for my permanent total, he refused to look at other doctors, 5 other doctors, 2 of them being my primary care physician at the VA, and 2 of them being outside CMP examiners. Did you hear me? He refused to look and say, this all cannot be true. He did not believe, not me. He didn't say he didn't believe me. He didn't believe that what the doctor said. So guess what? It got thrown out because I put the law that because you got to know, any examiner at different times will come up with different opinions. This is in the law. I quoted the law. And that his job was not to evaluate what other doctors wrote about me. It was to evaluate me, whether or not I had the condition. And he was not with that smart. He said, I got the condition. And he believed I got it, but he don't believe what these other doctors said. And he only been practicing as a psychologist for 3 years. I want to say his name. It has something to do with being smart, but he wasn't that bright. Now listen to what our sister Alaskan Ice says. She said, a duty to assist responsibility. The VA must provide notice, obtain records, provide medical examination, and keep the veteran informed about the status of their claim. How many of you have a problem with the VA keeping you informed about the status of your claim? Sometimes they do. Errors, duty to assist, errors occur when the VA fails to fulfill its legal obligation. This is not me saying it. She's getting this from the website. This is their legal obligation. So when you're breaking the rules, you're breaking the law. When you're not fulfilling your legal obligation, VA representatives, such as not obtaining relevant records or providing inadequate medical examinations. So they criticize our independent examinations as being inadequate, but sometimes they'll send us to a CMP exam and it may not be what we're claiming. Who in here have ever been sent to a CMP exam and it wasn't what you claim? I hope that ain't never happened to nobody. Anybody ever had that happen to them? You were going enough for PTSD, but they trying to evaluate your foot. Anybody ever had anything like that happen? Let us know. Now, Alaska Knight says the duty to assist begins when it receives a complete and substantially complete application. It includes making reasonable efforts. Now, this is the VA responsibility. They should make reasonable efforts to obtain evidence necessary to sustain the claim. So they supposed to fight on your behalf, but it don't feel like they're doing it right, such as records from federal agencies, private medical care providers, and non-federal sources. Wow. Oh, if you think she's joking, here go the law, family. Y'all need to go back over this, those of you who are watching this live or recorded, so you can have this information to help with your claim. We're not playing here tonight. Every part of this live stream, you'll be able to use to not, one, to get your benefits, to know what your benefits are, and to protect your benefits if you already got them. Come on, family, we're not playing here tonight. What did she say? She said 38 CFR 21-1032. The VA has a duty to assist to obtain evidence. Use that and write that against them. You can use that against them. Make reasonable efforts to help a claimant obtain necessary to sustain the claim. So come on now. This is what we're talking about. Now look what our brother MG Smith says. H-Town, at my last CMP exam, the one they would not tell me what it was for until I got there. The nurse said, "Do you know all the information was in your medical records from 1979. She typed for 20 minutes. So guess what? If all that was in his medical records, that means they had the evidence to decide to claim without an exam. The VA did. So do you think they went over his medical records? MG Smith's medical records. They spent money for him to go to an exam when everything they needed was in the file. Everything you need was right there. But they gonna push it on down the road. Now listen, Charleston says, if I had waited till after 2019, the VA would say my lung problem would have been from COVID. Yes, they would have. Ooh. Now I wonder, this is what our Farm Girl Rebel say, I wonder how many claims got pushed under the C-Wug, the jab, dealing with that virus from back then. You know, that's interesting. I never thought about that. Anybody file claims during the pandemic? Let us know. Now, Alaskan Ice says VA will not make a follow-up request if a response to the initial request indicates that the records sought do not exist, or that a follow-up request for records would be futile. Okay. If VA receives information showing that subsequent request to the initial or other custodian would result in obtaining the records sought, reasonable efforts will include at initial request, and if the VA does not receive the records, at least one of the following requests to the new source or an additional request to the original source. Now, family, remember, they got to look at the whole medical record. When a CMP examiner in the VA, they can't make a decision based just on what that doctor says. They got to look at the whole record. Come on. They can't just look, okay, attention to detail. They just focusing on that specific thing. The last CMP exam they sent you to. No, they need to look at your history of the condition. Come on now. Now let's see. Let me see, I think. All right, now sister say, obtaining records in the custody of the federal department or agency. Number one, VA will make as many requests as necessary to obtain relevant records from a federal department agency. These records include, but are not limited to, military records, medical and other records from VA facilities, records from non-VA facilities providing examination or treatment at VA expense. I guess that includes community care, right? and 4, records from other federal agencies. Could be you work for it, but remember, they have to consider the whole medical record. They just can't look at one statement from one doctor. They got to look at what all your doctors say. What? So they got to look at the big picture. So they might have something in that one CMP exam they sent you to, but they should look at the whole record. And if they look at it properly, you might not have to even go to an exam, but they like to throw exams quickly. All right. Oh, look what H-Town to come up with. Family, am I getting messy or am I getting messy? So they have VA laws, regulations, rules, right? Rules, regulations, they got that, right? But they also have VBA, or the Veteran Benefits Administration, culture and practices, what I've learned from my experience. And y'all let me know if y'all know of anything, or if you disagree with what I'm saying, you're welcome to say it, or come up, you can come live on it and you can speak about it. Now listen, in my experience, I've seen it as the VBA versus the veteran. All right, that's how I've seen it, as an adversary, something for the most part, not always, adversarial, and them being dismissive to your questions and asking them what this paperwork means. No guidance for individual needs. So if you have specific questions, they're really hush hush and rush rush. I thought they're the hell to help you. I thought they had a duty to assist. Not just that, if you in person, don't they have a duty to assist? And another thing I noticed, when you go in there, they don't have much information. The lack of useful information for the veteran. This is what I've noticed, family. But they have a duty to assist. But when we go in there, they're adversarial, they're dismissive, no guidance for my individual needs. They know what the process is because they're doing it every day. So why are they so impatient? Not all, but some. And the ones that do help you, they're overwhelmed because they're doing all kinds of stuff to help other people, VA employees, that is. Now, their culture, another thing is, other than being adversarial, they tend to be rule breakers, let me say again, rule breakers and outlaws. These are my terms. Unwarranted re-examination. That's not following the rules. If you don't need an exam, you already permanent total, you've had your 100% for 20 years, what they file an exam unless they can prove fraud? They doing it just because they want to? Yes, and I do know somebody, their dad had 100% for 20 years, but because he had moved to a different places, he was in a senior facility, he didn't have his original award letter, they took him down to 80% until he could find the paperwork that one of his daughters had, and they gave him back his 100%. Now you telling me they didn't have a copy of his award letter for 100% 20-something years ago? They did. But if he wasn't going to produce it, they wasn't. I thought they had a duty to assist. So they have a tendency, rule breakers and outlaws. They schedule you for unwarranted exams, fail in their duty to assist, of course, not considering the whole medical record, not just that one exam you're going to right there. Now, who in here has had a fail? They failed to assist you in their duty to assist. Put an F in the chat, or you can put the word fail, or you can put the thumbs down. When it came to your duty to assist and they did not assist you and gather your records properly. All right. Now, another thing, a point that I want to make with y'all that I'm noticing with these congressional hearings. Follow me, family. All right. So Alaskan ICE said when they needed to assist her getting her records, they failed. H-Town, when they needed to assist, I'm just saying, not that they did it all the time. Have they ever done it, because they're human too. I've had some fails. Yes. Now, the third thing with their culture, one, they tend to be the veteran versus the VBA. When you go in there, they can be a little hostile. they're rule breakers and outlaws because they're not punished for what they do. In addition to that, the third thing, prioritizing Congress over veterans. They're more concerned about speaking to Congress so Congress don't cut their funding off. How many times we don't even know who some of these people are, do we? Come on now. Until we see them up there in Congress talking like they love us, but they never talk to us. How can you love me and you don't talk to me? How can you care about my situation and they fill his form out? That's all they got. Now listen to what Charleston, Dougie would say the VBA is just keeping the veterans safe and not being used as a victim of society. Woo! You triggered me on that. Oh, you got me hot. Oh boy, let me drink some of this cold water. Now, prioritizing Congress over veterans. This is, I believe, is part of VA culture and practices. Based on their actions. That's why I say practices. More direct contact with Congress than they have with us. Who's ever went to a formal or informal conference with a VA employee about your claim? Who've ever had a informal conference or a formal conference with the VA? Let us know. If you've had an informal conference, put an IC. If you had a formal conference with them, put a FC. Informal. I requested an informal conference. They just approved my claim because they didn't want to meet with me. So MJS he's had a formal conference. Alaskan ICE has had an informal conference. I haven't had one. I just put that. He say the word Charleston. Okay. Yes. I requested an informal conference and they just went on and approved my permanent total. Now, another thing, more direct contact with Congress. So like I say, we said that they're in there all the time. Oh, the vets use third party to conversate. That's the first thing. This is how I say that they're prioritizing Congress, because they talk directly to Congress. But to talk to the VA, we got to go through a VSO. We got to go through our lawyer. We got to file some paperwork. If we want to get informed about anything, we got to go to the va.gov. They don't have much to tell us. They say they're so busy. Guess what? They wouldn't be so busy if they would just help us and then we get out the way. Once they told us, we keep coming back bugging them. Isn't that wasting their time? We don't know. And they don't want to tell us. So we should be able to talk directly to the VA employee when we go up in there. And they shouldn't be rushing us off. Okay, hold on. Let me get this here right. Now, like I say, more direct contact with Congress. That's what the VA does. And they treat us through third parties. They communicate with us through third parties. Now, only affiliated veterans are invited to Congress. Now, think about what I'm saying. When I say affiliated, if you go in there, they don't let just a regular veteran walk in there when they talking to Congress. They got to be with the DA, with a VSO. They got to be with some law firm, some one of these claims consulting companies. Have you ever seen them just talk to a regular veteran that wasn't affiliated with some other organization? Let us know. Why are they afraid to talk to us? Why do you think Congress are afraid to talk to us? Why do you think the VA don't want us in there? Why everybody talking for us and not letting us talk for ourselves? What is your concern on that? I put this together myself here. This is our expression. What you see here is an expression of my experiences. Do you agree? Disagree? Let us know. And either way, it's okay. Now, This is my biggest problem with the VA. They don't help us to explore our options. When I go in there, they rush you. They don't have many answers or directions. We shouldn't need VSOs. The VA should be our VSOs. But as I stole from my brother, he say, they got the fox guarding the hen house, exploring your options. This is what the VA should be helping you do. Come on now. They should tell you what kind of claims you need to file. Who in here has ever filed the wrong type of claim? You were supposed to be filing a secondary claim, but you filed a primary claim or direct claim. You were supposed to be filing to reopen a claim, but you actually filed for an increase. Come on, talk to us, family, because they're not telling you all the time. Listen to what our sister's saying. Gwendolyn Boyd, she said, because we will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Why are let me come up on the screen. This sister got me triggered. Now I'm getting triggered up in here. Why they don't want us to tell the truth? We telling the truth right here. Why wouldn't they want us to tell the truth, family? Come on now. What would you say if you went in there when they was talking about you, they both talking about you but not talking to you? What in the world, they think they're elevated above you? Huh? Don't you have a right to speak for yourself? Who know your experiences like you? Come on now. Real talk, sister. What would you say to them if you went in there? Let us know. What would be your concerns? Now, Charleston said, agree, the game would be up if low grunts testify. No, they don't want them foot soldiers in there. Who you think are the most afraid for the foot soldiers to be in there? The VSOs, Congress, or the VA themselves? Who you think would be sweating like a prostitute in church if we was in there on a Sunday morning? Who would be the most nervous? Let us know. Would it be the VSOs? Would it be Congress, the ones that we're speaking to? Because they can't talk to us any kind of way. They always saying they honoring us, but they don't want to hear what we got to say. They only talking through, listen what I'm saying, third parties. The VSOs speaking for us. Yes, some of them are veterans, but they represent the company, not the average foot soldier, sailor, huh? Airman. Come on now. Oh, come on now. A Coast Guard member. Now listen, Alaskan I say the decision letter tells you what your options are. I don't know when that was added. Yeah, that's been around for a while. Now that's why I did mention that I have it in there as a slide. So they're gonna tell you what your options are. They're actually supposed to tell you in the decision letter what you need to get an increase. Watch our video, the VA decision letter. It is a series of 3. What 3 of them you need to focus on in particular. Our VA decision letter, the VA notification letter. Go watch. These are shorter videos. These are not live streams. The VA decision letter, the VA notification letter, and the VA code sheet. Real talk. See, we all talking the same language here. They wouldn't even like talking to us. They say they know too much because we've been messed over so much. Now, listen. And, oh, yeah, like what our sister was saying, let me tell y'all this here. How can I say this here? They're supposed to not only tell you why they denied you, or if you got approved, they got to tell you by law what symptoms you need to get a higher rating. Yes, indeed. They're supposed to tell you that by law. And I think they've always done that part. Now, M.S. Smith says, H-Town, I joined the Non-Commissioned Officer Association. They speak for us in Washington. Good. I got a lifetime membership. Just saying representation. We do need representation. I ain't got no problems with the groups if they're working for us, because Man, I'm gonna tell you, the American Legion has done a lot of good. The DAV has done a lot of good, and especially the Veteran of Foreign Wars. American Legion, I say, because I've been a member of that before. I'm not now, but I appreciate the things that they've done. But sometimes they need to have us coming now, huh? They need H-Town. They don't know what H-Town gonna say, huh? I'm gonna be on my best Christian behavior, but I'm gonna tell it like it is, huh? I'm gonna speak for y'all. Because I'm not scared or impressed by nobody. You ain't no more than a veteran than me. I respect you. But guess what? This is our story. All right, come on now. I ain't trying to start preaching up in here. Now, Farm Girl Rebel says, majority of career politicians cannot be trusted. They are out for themselves, both branches. Let me ask you a question, though, Sister Farm Girl Rebel. What about the congressmen that are over these committees that are veterans? Are you saying they're out for themselves too? Are you questioning their loyalty to other veterans? Because they say they are loyal to veterans. You ain't talking about the ones that are veterans too. And some of them say they were special forces. Ooh, that means they're higher than us. Wow. Now, I'm just saying, I mean, if I run around, I'm a combat veteran. What that supposed to mean? I'm a veteran. That's what I am. Now, I'm a veteran. I don't put myself above nobody. Now, Charleston says Navy at one time had captain call through executive officers. Those days ended in the 1980s. Let me ask you this here. Have you ever had any of your chain of command have an open door policy? Have you ever been able to reach out to one of your Congress people? Now I have to give respect for some years back that it was this back then I was still a Democrat. I'm not none of that now, but Democrat or Republican. But this Republican from my district, he responded to my email and he was fair and I appreciated him. And he helped one of my friends as best as he could. He had people working for him that would work on the claim and say, well, I can't do this here, but this is why, and was straight up with it. He didn't just drop nothing. Come on now. I appreciate him for that. He was actually a veteran too. He had been in the National Guard. Now, Farm Girl Rebel say, if they are a career politician, I question all of them, vets and all. Woo! Now, with power seems to come corruption. She say she can't. So you saying you don't trust Doug Collins, who was hold on now. Doug Collins, the Secretary of the VA, he was a chaplain and he is a preacher right now. You say you question Doug Collins, the head of the VA, and he is a man of God. You think he'll be up there lying to you like that? Come on now. What they say, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. Y'all know what Doug Collins said. Doug Collins said that what veteran culture is what comes out the other end of the booty hole. Y'all better go look up what he had that. Didn't we go over that, family? Did we not go over that? Oh, Lord, look. She say, them preachers are the worst. Woo, Lord. Oh, they be up there. What happened? I used to love listening to Jimmy Swaggart. Jimmy Swaggart back in the 80s could preach. He's from Louisiana. He could preach and sing and teach. And boy, they caught him with that prostitute. He come on TV. He said, what in the 80s? I have sinned against God. And he confessed and they forgave him. And they caught him in a car with a prostitute about 3 months later. Huh? Yeah, well, you ain't ready to come back, man. Get your stuff together. Now listen what Farm Girl says. I don't know enough about Collins yet, but just because you parade Jesus around, don't make it true. Time will tell. That's how I want to feel about it. Now look, he say, He said, there you go, amen, at that. Charleston, I don't need you getting on Dougie. That's a Southern preacher now. You always amen and people. He say, farm girl, 100%. Say, whoa, to those who use the name of Jesus for profit, woe to them. That's what the Bible say. Jesus got violent. I want you to listen to what I'm saying. The one time Jesus got physical with him, he got violent. He went into the, he said, y'all turn, he went into the temple. He said, y'all turn the house of God into a den of thieves. He took off that rope for his belt and he drove them out. That means he beat the heck out of them. He flipped over tables. Jesus got with it. He was with the business. And that wasn't Old Testament. He was fulfilling the law with that belt, that rope. Now Dougie is Old Testament. We'll see. He'll bring down the wrath of God on you. Jesus turned up. It turned up. Yes, he did. He turned up. He doesn't like people that use their position, especially those money exchangers and those priests that were in the temple. He was offended by that because he's that wasn't what it's supposed to represent. And they had the tables right when you come into the church, to the temple. They had the tables, so they doing they hustling, their business, selling what they selling. You want to buy my mixtape, huh? They were doing it right at the door. Jesus cleared all that out because he don't like people to exploit financially. So we'll see, like y'all said. Family, let's get back to it. If you want more information on the different types of claims, watch our video by the name, the 10 types of VA claims. And that's a very popular one. And this is the thumbnail for it. So that's another thing, family. You need to know, they need to let you know. And here we go, family. She say, not the mixtape. Yeah, they said the mixtape. Huh? Yeah, they were selling, their version of the mixtape back then. Huh? If you file for an increase, they should not discourage you for filing for increase. You know where we got that from? Where they tell us, don't file for increase, you might get reduced. I think that comes from the VA. Remember what Doug Collins said? He said, once you get once you file, you shouldn't keep going back and back. He said, now let's get it straight. Veterans are not victims. If y'all think I'm making this up, go look at our tape on this, right? Didn't we do a live stream on it? Did I misconstrue his words? Now, even though I do like him, I ain't gonna lie, I like him some. Now, listen, Charleston said, maybe Doug moving on up, Pope, Billy, open, oh Lord. Hopefully he ain't, he gonna change over. I think he Baptist or Methodist, right? He gonna become a Catholic now? Come on now. He supposed to be Southern Baptist, I think. Now, how many of them told you at the VA about filing increases or secondary conditions? This is what the VA should be doing, informing veterans of your options. Of if you have tinnitus, you can file for headaches. You file for headaches, you can file for depression. If you are depressed and gain weight as a result because your lack of mobility, you can file for sleep apnea. If you get it that intermediate step of weight gain, even though that's not a compensatable disability, it can be an intermediate step between the depression and the sleep apnea. The VA should spend more time informing us about these things. These are things that they should make us aware of, family. And we shouldn't have to learn about intent to file on our own. The VA should be telling us when we go there. Now listen, you're about to file a claim, you should file an intent to file. That don't take but a few seconds. Here's the form if you want it. Why won't they do that at the VA? VBA. Now, listen what he says. MG Smith say, Charleston, is Dougie looking for the smoke? We'll see. And family, an intent to file, for those of you that may not know what it is, that's in locking in your back pay date. So let's say you want to file a claim. but you want your money to start accumulating. Well, you can put in an intent to file that locks in your back pay date for a whole year, and you have a whole year to figure out what you want to file for, gather your evidence, but if you file another intent to file within that year, that's going to void the other one. So only one intent to file per year, and try to have the information in before the year ends. Now, Kevin say they are loyal to that dollar. You say that almighty dollar, those dead presidents, my Lord. Intent to file, family. Now, how many of you know about claim substitution? That if a veteran passes, a family member can be substituted into the claim. This is something they lied to me and some of the people that I know about. How many of you know that their family member, their spouse in particular, can be filed into, that can be substituted into the claim? So let's say a veteran file a claim, and let's say they don't have no disability, but they die. Well, the spouse can be substituted into the claim, and if the veteran gets between 10 and 90%, all the spouse would get is the back pay. Okay, you listening to me? That's all. Now, if they get 100%, then the spouse would get the DIC death benefit, the Chapter 35 educational benefits, the CHAMP VA healthcare benefits, and any other benefits that come at the 100% level. Did you hear me? If you know about VA claim substitution, what I just explained here, put a Y in the chat. If you don't, put an N. I knew about it because I put, let us know. Come on, engage, family. I want to know if y'all know about claim substitution. If you know about claim substitution, that even when a veteran dies, especially when it comes to what do you call it, the PACT Act. So H-Town vet said yes. See, that's why we're talking about it. Our sister Gwendolyn, we're gonna do one. I had some very thorough information wrote on a notebook about this. Wow. I'm sorry, family. So are we going to have to do a video on VA claim substitution? Wow. So did you know? Wow. I'm not doing my job, family. Oh no, I'm embarrassed now. I'm embarrassed because I'm sorry, family. I'm sorry. Farm Girl didn't know. Charleston didn't know. MG Smith didn't know. And she says, yes, I got to do a video on it. Yes. Yeah. So I was meaning to do it back in time, but them trolls started distracting me. Had me going on a warpath, but we're going to do one on VA claim substitution. Why didn't the VA tell us about this? Why didn't they tell you? Do you know the many of the wives and husbands go up there to file one and they tell them you can't? The VA lie to them and say you can't. That is a lie. If you have a pending claim, the lawyers will tell you this. The dependent can be substituted into the claim. Now, if I'm lying, go look up VA claim substitution. Now, why is the VA keeping this from you? I'm yelling it because ain't nobody else telling it. Come on now. Come on, family. I told you I was going to slow walk this thing tonight. Family, y'all are encouraging me by the number of people that are in the chat. We had over 320 something people by the time that 320 something views by the time of the video was over. Did you hear me? Come on now. As soon as I check, I say, wow, we getting somewhere here. You see, I ain't asked y'all to book a session. I didn't ask y'all to buy a membership. I didn't ask you to come in a secret room. I said you got to pay to chat. None of that. I ain't saying, because some of y'all asked about super chat. We might do super chats. Well, you know, we're prioritizing some with if ever that happened. But I ain't been worried about that. Now, Charleston said yes, because attorneys say all the time if loved one passed one. Yeah, loved ones passed. Yes, indeed. Now I want to give some of the law firms that are handling the business Now I heard KK Kirkpatrick, I heard they sued the VA. Is that true? You know, I heard, I don't know how true it is. Now, MG Smith, H-Town, because I was diagnosed with hypertension, my VSO explained that to me. Come on now. Now listen what she say. Farm Girl Rebel, I'll buy you a cup of coffee with a super chat. Yeah, I don't have no super chat, but somebody asked me two live streams ago, when you gonna do a super chat? I'm not even monetized, y'all. I'm gonna have to get monetized. I know. The whole process frustrates me. I enjoy what I'm doing, but we'll try to do that stuff. Because people start engaging. I don't know what it's about people. If they're able to pay something, they take it more serious, I guess. So we're going to do that one on claim substitution. Hopefully we can do it this month. Family, and remember what I told you. If you are a combat veteran, and I think there are other certain situations, I think people that are victims of military S trauma, they kind of are reliable historians too, but you should have some evidence like you went to the emergency room, military sexual trauma that is, or you talk to somebody about it, okay? But you got to be as accurate as you can with your information. I can't say I was a combat veteran and I say this happened in Vietnam. I was never in Vietnam, so I'm not a reliable historian no more. So make sure you get your facts right. So you can, that's something that the VA don't tell you about. I had to learn this from a VSO. Yeah, not a cup of coffee, farm girl. I don't drink coffee. I drink hot chocolate. So I love hot chocolate. I love it. Now, number two. So we talked about that the first function of the VA is to do what? To approve and deny claims. The second thing is VA compensation examinations and re-examinations. Remember, I know we slow walk this thing, but now let's talk about it. Now, as we discussed, let's say you had an ankle injury and you go and do a public DBQ, meaning disability benefit questionnaire done by your own doctor or outside specialist, and in that field. Now it has to be in that field, okay? Even if you get your doctor to do it, make sure that doctor is qualified to fill out that disability benefit questionnaires. So get the one for your right condition. All right, you need to make sure. Now listen, you see what I got in red here? Are you completing, now listen up top before the red, are you completing this disability questionnaire at the request of who? The veteran. Because the veteran, you're going to be the one give it to the doctor. Now they ask, are you a healthcare provider? Are you a VA healthcare provider? If they're private and they're not VA healthcare provider, put no. That's what they should put. Is the veteran regularly seen as a patient in your clinic? And I think if you're going to get somebody to fill out a CMP, see them at least 3 or 4 times. Or if it's something that can be done like a back specialist or spinals. How many times did you go, farm girl? How many times did you go when you did the spinal thing? How many exams they had to check you out? Was it just the surgery itself or other follow-up visits? Then you get them to fill out what happened, okay? Now, the next thing, was the veteran examined in person? I would prefer you do it in person because the VA can be not like a stickler. Now, this is for the private DBQ, but they always examine veterans by telehealth over the television, right? When you do CMP exams, right? But they want to be picky, so it's kind of discriminatory. Why they ask you that? You know, they don't ask these questions to the compensation and pension examiner that they send you to. They only ask these questions to your private independent doctor that does it. Yes, indeed. On the public DBQ. Now, this is what's important. This is what will make, and remember, this is what will make your public DBQ invalid if they don't look over the whole record like a CMP examiner would. Okay? So the VA gives the CMP examiner that they set up through QTC or the other ones, they give them the whole record, or they're supposed to. Now, you need to make sure that the examiner, the outside doctor that's examining you, filling out the public DBQ, they need to have everything that CMP examiner would have, and even some more, because they've probably examined you, been with you, your doctor, for a while. Now let's see what he say. Now he say, it built up over years, so I was seen several times between discharge and surgery. Okay, sister. And then that's what I want to know. Thank you. Now, I hope you had all that evidence that's showing that progression over time. Kevin said no. And Kevin said yes. Now listen, Charleston says, is this DBQ needed to be by a private physician within 1 year of active duty release? Within 1 year of active duty release, you can almost get the benefits even without the doctor. It's easier to get the benefits, meaning you can still go to outside doctor, but guess where they got to go back? They don't go back to the day you filed. If you do it within a year of getting out of active duty, they go back to the date of injury while you were in the military. Huh? So you might get back pay for a year or two, or 3, 4, 5 years if you do it within a year of getting released from active duty. If you want to know more about that, watch our video, the 10 types of VA claims. Come on now, family. You see how I plugged that? You see how I did that right there? Come on, family. You know I'm going to do it. But make sure that doctor, that outside independent doctor, private doctor, or private specialist, make sure if you're getting a mental health exam, public DBQ, make sure that doctor is specializing in the condition that you're being evaluated for, and make sure they review and type it in the DBQ. This is part of DBQ here. Veteran claim file, hard copy paper, C file. They went over your in-service treatment and personnel records, VA hospital treatment records. So you need to give them copies of all this. VA problems list, that's important. A list of your medications, private treatment records from that doctor and other ones. Come on, family. This is called clinical evidence. They're going to use this clinical evidence, and the other clinical evidence will be the exam that they give you. They're going to review your file and your exam. That's the clinical evidence. Come on now. And then with that information, they're going to make that evaluation. Now, this is the most important part, believe it or not. A lot of them, and y'all get these fly-by-night, these people talking about they're going to help you get a nexus letter. They're going to help you get a DBQ filled out, but the doctor fills out the information but won't sign it. It's worthless. If the doctor don't put their contact information, the VA they're going to say insufficient evidence or incomplete. Or they might be nice and say they might defer it and let you, say they need more information to make a decision. So make sure you handle your business, because you don't want to go in dealing with the VA and you ain't got your business together. So make sure that person puts their signature, full name type, and contact information, their credentials, their national provider ID, medical license number, and the state they're licensed in. You can't be going to Montana and they're not licensed in Texas. Come on now. And you down in Texas. Come on now. Come on, fella. They've been trying to, some people do that, but the VA be trying to flag that stuff. Now listen to what let me come up on the screen. Farm girl say, I have to get up at the dark 30. Gotta go and get ready for bed. Thank you, my sister. We're just glad whenever you get a chance, you come here. I know you out there on them farms. You got to feed them goats. You got to feed them horses. You got to feed them chickens. Talk to me, sister. But we understand. Thanks, H-Town Vet. Good night, everyone. I'll continue to try and listen. Thank you. Thank you for being so engaged, my sister. Y'all say good night to our sister. Good night, my sister. Now, here's what it's all about right here. I'm going to put this up on the full screen. She say, got all of those goats, horses, and chicken. Listen to them goats. See, you ain't got to worry about cutting no grass. A goat will eat a aluminum can. Now, I'm not a country boy, but I'm a Southern man. We had all that. We had no goats because goats eat up everything. You don't know goats. Goats eat grass. I saw the goat eating a car seat. So everybody saying good night to our sister. She got to take care of them animals, and she blessed. And we got Sister Gwendolyn saying good night to your ancestor last night. Family, this is needed. Now, this is the meat of the matter. What is clinical evidence, family? We've talked about this. Clinical evidence is any medical records or other evidence, including your personnel file. If you had something like you was in a car wreck or something, it might be in your personnel file. Or other evidence that supports a veteran's disability claim. Now listen, this evidence can include medical test results, hospital records, and statements from friends and family. It could be private medical records, military personnel records, VA hospital records. I want y'all to get this page and save it. Take a picture of it on your phone. Keep looking at the video. It could be a nexus letter. A nexus letter is a letter that shows a connection between your military service and your condition. And you can get, I don't think they have to be a medical professional, but somebody that's expert in that area. Okay? And you might be able to go, you can check to get one of these what they call these little medical places. Well, you know, these little 24-hour health places, they might write a nexus letter. And clinical evidence could be a public DBQ that you get done outside of the VA system, but make sure you have the right form, the most up-to-date form, and that they fill it out properly. So you need to let them know what you need and how it needs to be. You know, you're not telling them what to say, but to make sure it's done according to VA standards and other medical opinions. Say good night. Said have a GOAT day. That's what Brother Charleston said. Now, so that's clear. Then our brother Coasty say good night, farm girl. Family, we ain't been here, but guess what? An hour and 38 minutes. Have we been breaking it down? Family, I'm starting to get my groove. And remember, family, now remember, the way it works when you're dealing with these DBQs, the examination is the physical exam. And if you have all the evidence you need, you may not need the exam if it's enough in your medical records. The VA is supposed to be able to make a decision off of that. But the examination is a medical professional's personal observation and evaluation of the claimant. So it's what they see, touch, feel, whatever. When it comes, if you had an ankle injury, they're looking at your x-rays, they're feeling your foot, they're doing the range of motion, all of that. It can be conducted in person or by telehealth. I suggest, you know, when it comes to mental health, you can do it by telehealth, but I wouldn't suggest it if it's a public DBQ. When it comes to the VA, they just choose and you got to go what they say. But you don't want no room for ambiguity. But how can you do a range of motion test? Family, tell me, how can you do a range of motion test by television, by telehealth? Ain't gonna work, right? What, you gonna put your arm or your foot up to the screen? Now you gotta do that in person. Now listen to what Army George say. Everybody say, show love to Army George. He say sometimes you can find a nexus in your VA notes from the doctor. They may not have intended to make it a nexus, but if they bring up that this most likely, or I believe in my medical opinion, this injury derives from service of this incident that happened, that is a nexus. Huh? Come on now. Talk to me. And he said, hello, Army George. Yes, indeed. So that's the examination. Always, sometimes you don't, who've ever had a claim approved without going to an exam? All right, let us know. Give us a thumbs up, a hand, or yes. Who've ever had a claim approved without having to go to an examination? They approved it with evidence alone. But an examination, if it's necessary, let us know. And I'm talking about a direct claim. He say hi to everybody. Now, if, like, for example, if for your foot, they're going to go in there, they're going to check and see what your mobility. They're also going to do the range of motion with the go meter, however you say it, Goddard meter or whatever. And if it's PTSD, they're going to be doing memory tests. Watch our video about that. How to win 100% PTSD for a limited time until they change the rules. Now, make sure they do it. Here it is. That's when they're measuring right there, right? This is what you need. This is evidence. However far you can go, but you tell them they're trying to push you too far. You say, oh, that hurt. Stop. Don't try to strain yourself or injure yourself to make it go as far as possible. Because based on your mobility is what percentage you get. Remember, limitations is what you get paid for. Whether it's work limitations, physical limitations, social limitations, because of the condition. Let's talk about it. Now, once you had the exam, that doctor is going to get two things. Are you following me? He's going to get your clinical evidence or your medical evidence from that he or she didn't do, and they're going to get the exam information. If that doctor may make a decision without even doing an exam, saying everything's enough is in the file. But if they feel like they have to do an exam, it's going to be the exam and your clinical evidence. And they're going to make a medical opinion based on that. All right. Now, the medical opinion refers to a medical professional statement of findings and views, finding in the evidence and finding in the exam, and views, what their opinion is of what they read and when they examine you, what they saw, which may be based on review of claimant's medical records or personal examination of the claimant, or both. So they don't necessarily have to do an exam. Come on, family. Now, the evaluation is the whole assessment, is what's going to be given to the VA on that DBQ. Now, the evaluation is an assessment of the medical evidence, which may involve conducting an examination, providing a medical opinion, or both. I say it would be safe if you get a public DBQ that they do the exam and offer their medical opinion. Of course, their medical opinion will be necessary, but the exam sometime maybe not, if they can prove that you got the condition based on the medical records at hand. And the problem is making sure that they don't contradict. So if you get a public DBQ, you should be in the good. However, when it comes to the VA, watch our last video. Right? What do we call it? Family, what do we call it when the VA does something with your claim? They overweight your claim. You can have a fully developed claim. You got your DBQ, you got your medical opinion, you got the examination, but they do what? You have a fully developed claim, But what the VA say, nah, that public DBQ ain't enough. We're going to send you to a CMP exam. What that is called, what type of claim is that called? A what? A blank claim. What type of claim is it? When they keep asking for more paperwork, when they keep asking for other exams, they don't accept your DBQ. They send you to a CMP exam anyway. Overdeveloped claim. Watch our last video on that, family. Okay? Now, as Love would say, so they send you to a CMP exam anyway. Now, here's the problem. If you don't go, like the congressman said last time, if you don't go to it, they might do what? They might deny you if you don't go to CMP exam. You say, I already went to an exam. So this is that hamster wheel that our brother Love was talking about. They send you to unwarranted exams, have you resubmit paperwork that you've already submitted. And the VA breaks the rules, as we talked about. How? Because when they did this report back in 2023, they found that they were requiring people. You're overdeveloped, meaning it's already enough information to make a decision, but they keep asking for more paperwork or asking you to go to another exam, even though you had a sufficient exam to make a decision on your claim with the public DBQ. Now, here we go. Look, the one that they examined the most were people that had a permanent and not likely to improve rating. 6%. This is what the OIG, the Office of Inspector General, found that the VA was sending when they did a sample study, that they were sending 1,901 people, 60% of the files. The people that had a permanent rating were sending the most, and they should have been sent the least to reexaminations. Now she says, she said, our sister say, overdeveloped claims just drag you to give up. This is the danger of them. Not only do they drag you, overdeveloped claims. Watch our last video. We broke it all the way down. Not only do overdeveloped claims drag you to give up, you might be having financial trouble and them dragging the claim out. You might lose your home. It might affect your marriage. Your children might suffer from it. You might get in worse health conditions because of it. This is not a victimless crime, and I consider it a crime when the VA intentionally break the rules. And you know, all they got was a pat on the head. No, don't y'all do that no more. Nobody was fired. That's what Doug Collins should be worried about. Charlton say, I am calling that cage wheel the Dougie Wheel of Fortune. Hold on. Let me go back there. Hold on. He said that's the Dougie Wheel of Fortune. Oh, I've got to do that one. That I want to use this as a thumbnail. Now I probably am. The Dougie Wheel of Fortune. Oh, permission to use it. You're going to sue me for copyright infringement. Now, what's the solution? Family, we've been talking about the problem. Now we're going to talk about the solution. You say solution? What's the solution, family, to when they overdevelop claims? What's the solution when they don't go by the law? What is the solution to VA culture where they're adversarial toward the veteran? Love became frustrated. We're going to talk about the solution. First, we got to tell you where we got the solution from. I knew some of it, but I got the game for my sister Betty Bops. I finally read her email, and I apologize for taking so long. Thank you, Sister Betty Bops. Thank you, because you gave us the answer we need in the form of VA law. Huh? Thank you, sister. Now listen to what our brother says here. He says, Brother Army George says, the VA always likes their own DBQs done. Now listen, that is VA culture. That is not law. Law says if you have a DBQ that's sufficient and it's private, it's supposed to have the same weight as the VA compensation and pension exam. But listen to what he says. The VA always likes their own DBQ done by the VA doctor. The rater seems to favor that. Could it be because they paying them? And if they do too many, they approve too many veterans of their disability, they'll stop hiring them to do, or they say they have the third party hook them up like QPC, but you know how that go. Now, favor that, but a private DBQ is okay. However, the VA in most cases will send you to their own CFP exam for DBQ. That's called overdeveloped claim. Go look at the last video when we talked about Congress, overdeveloped claim. Now, listen. Charleston say, permission granted, H-Town, the Dougie Wheel of Fortune. We're going to talk about that thing. Oh, now you, but that's a great idea. Thank you, my brothers. But we think better about it. Here's our solution, family. Y'all better, here go the law. Bam. Quote VA exam law. Okay, are y'all following me? And what is VA exam law? Hopefully y'all can see it somewhat clear. We're going to, eventually I'm going to put this into a, my own typing where it could be clear. But 38 CFR, family, 3.326. Examinations. For purposes of this section, the term examination includes periods of hospital observation when required by VA. Now listen, A, where there is a claim for disability compensation or pension, but medical evidence accompanying the claim is not adequate for rating purposes. So that's the only time they do an exam. So, but if you have adequate information that they can make a rating decision on, they don't supposed to send you to an exam. The only time is when the information is not adequate, and they're trying to be slick and saying your DBQ is not adequate. If they don't get out of it with that, this paragraph applies to original and supplemental claims, as well as claims for increase submitted by a veteran, surviving spouse, parent, or child, individual for whom an examination has been scheduled or required to report for the examination. Did y'all hear that? This is my brother. Look at it. Come on now. Here go the law that you quote right here. The number's going back up because people wanted this, what you've been waiting on. Now, B, thanks Sister Betty Box for this. B, now this comes with examination. Provided that it is otherwise adequate for rating purposes, any hospital report. They saying if not just your evidence that you could accumulate, if you got a hospital report, any hospital report, or any examination report, including a public DBQ from any government, any government, let me stop there. Hold on. Any government or private institution. Hold on, can I come up on the screen? Family, can we talk? So guess what? Just what somebody said in the last one. You can get your VA doctor to fill this out. Are they part of the government? The law said that they can fill one out, but VA culture and practices try to discourage them from filling them out for you. There's no law that your VA healthcare provider can't fill one out for you. They gonna know you better than a CMP examiner. That CMP examiner see you once, maybe most time one time. So who knows you better than somebody that deals with you on a regular basis? Huh? Am I lying? But the law right here. But you got to be able to talk to your doctor. I got my doctor to write a letter of unemployability, and they wrote it for me. He was a little nervous at first, but he filled it out. But we had to build up rapport. At first, he kind of was a little, but he the one told me to stop working. So you got to understand now. He the one told me to stop working. I said, Doc, I need your help, because I was blessed enough. Isn't this amazing? I had almost a $2,000 a month house note before they took the property tax off. Once I got my 100%, and he told me to stop working. Time I make it. He said, don't worry about it. And he came through for me. And I told my daughter, she was a little girl then. When we was walking through the hospital, I saw my doctor, and I love that man to this day. I say, that's the man that God used to save my life right there. He's one of the people. And he was such a humble person. And he was good to me, I about to put hands on somebody at work, and he told me, nah, and it all worked out. When I I ain't gonna go into detail, but we'll talk about it. I'll tell you a little bit. Say H-Town vet, true story. Yes, indeed. Now listen to me. I'll bring you the letter one day. Huh? Come on now. We ain't gonna go all that. But we're gonna go over how to write one day. What you need from the doctor. You gotta let them know what you need. You ain't trying to tell them what to write. Come on now. Now look what it say. From any government or private institution may be accepted for rating a claim without further examination. Can I say it again? Now listen to what our brother said. I want y'all to hear this here. Now listen to what our brother or sister said. I'm trying to get you. Now listen to what that brother said right there. The VA always likes their own DBQs done by the doctor. That's VA culture. That's not VA law, rules, and regulations. Now y'all tell me if I'm lying, family. If I'm lying, just tell me to shut up and we'll close down the live stream. Now the law right here saying that ain't the way it works. Now let me read that section again. This starting at B. And I'm gonna put this on a bigger thing so y'all can see it. And you quote this once you get that public DBQ. You quote this when you send it in on a supplemental form, supportive evidence form. Come on now. Provided that it is, talking about the exam, it is adequate for rating purposes, any hospital report or any examination report, talking about like a DBQ, public DBQ, from any government, from the VA hospital or private institution, the public DBQ may be accepted for rating a claim without further examination. However, monetary benefits to a former prisoner of war will not be denied unless the claimant has been offered a complete physical exam conducted at a Department of Veteran Affairs or other outpatient clinic. Now that's just for prisoners of war. So, it's kind of most of us are not prisoners of war. C, are you listening to me? Examinations, provided that it otherwise adequate for rating purposes, a statement from a private physician may be accepted for rating a claim without further exam. Hold on. So when my doctor did that unemployability letter from the VA, they should have gave me my business then. They shouldn't have sent me to that CMP exam, right? He said that H-Town is unemployable. He used the word, and he broke down why. That he's continually seeking treatment. However, he's not. I always got me feeling bad, man. I won't go. Why can't? I mean, talking bad about me, but hey, that's where I was then. Now, family, I hope that helped. Now listen what he say. He say permission granted for the Dougie wheel. Now, family, let's get to it. The next thing, the VA, first is the approve or deny claims. Second is the schedule exams and re-examinations. And to, let me add something to that, to accept fully developed claims without an examination. Now, third, to distribute VA benefits. So this could be VA compensation benefits. It could be any type of benefit. This is the third function of the VA. All right? But they're not there to inform you. They should. They will somewhat give you bits of information in your VA notification letter. I'm so glad that somebody mentioned that earlier. You were right on time. The VA notification will give you some benefits that you have acquired, but they're gonna tell you not all. You're gonna have to look the rest of them up. They should have a list customized for you of all the federal benefits you should get, but you should look up the state benefits on your own. So watch our live stream. Our video is about 10 minutes, and it's not a live stream. VA notification letter. We also have VA decision letter. We also have VA code sheet. We also have VA award letter. Come on now, family. Where's you gonna get this information? There go the VA code sheet. Watch that one. We break down that code sheet. That's important because you find out who rated the claim. You know this the one they don't want to give to you. They'll give you your decision letter, your notification letter, but you gotta request this. They don't want to put in the packet because it shows who actually made the decision on the code sheet. And they don't want you to know because back in the 1950s, a veteran got denied or somewhere around that time, and he went and found his rater because he knew the name, and they say he took him out. That's what legend says. Now, listen, the VA should inform us, not just with the notification letter, but I think they should send something in the mail telling us what all our benefits are with everything. How y'all feel about that? Who think the VA should tell you based on your rating, if you have a temporary 100%, what benefits you get? If you have 100% permanent total, all the benefits you get. But let me ask you a question. Do you think they really know? I'm the only one that has the complete video online because most of the people don't put all of it. There are about 8 benefits you get. I'm the only one that put all 8 of them on there, and they still right there. I got 38,000 views on that video. It's about a year old, huh? Come on now. And I'm the only one that tell you every benefit you get from VA compensation from 0 to 100%. The VA don't inform you like that. From 0 to 100%. And how they don't explain to you how VA disability compensation accumulates. So once let's say you start off with a 40%, you automatically get the benefit from the 0%, the 10%, the 30%, and they combine with the ones you get at 40%. But the VA act like when you get 40%, that you automatically get, they don't explain or make it clear, or other people don't make it clear. We break it down step by step, tell you what you get at each individual. So that's important. They need to start notifying. And they notify you of when a veteran passed away. Why do we have to keep reinventing the wheel? But H-Town said, you know what? Just like we're going to do the one on substitute claims. See, y'all the ones that shape this for us. Y'all the ones that make this help me to know what to talk about, because I got to know what the people need. This is like what they call that show, Law and Order, cut from the headlines, baby. So when y'all tell me, one of y'all contacted me and y'all had lost a family member, I did this video. I felt horrible. I hadn't done it earlier. Now that I found out so many people didn't know about claim substitution, I feel like I failed at my job. I got to fix that. We got to make that thing right. You understand? Now, VA home loans, we went over the whole process. It wasn't just me. Go watch the live stream for this too. It wasn't just me. It was y'all telling us we interacted and talk about the different benefits you get. Come on now, family. Now, number 4, the last thing we're going to talk about on this is fraud, VA fraud. The snitch line, they do pay, but you got to give them evidence that they don't already know. So that means they being slick with it. They'll have somebody snitch or tell. I call it snitch where I'm from. I guess if a person committing fraud, I don't know, some might say they should be. I ain't in their business. Now, and does the VA have a selective hearing? Now, if you talking about somebody committing fraud, they'll listen to you. But we say, hey, what about my complaints about y'all? Fill out a letter. Go to your service officer. We can't help you. Now, remember what we were saying. It used to be called a decision review officer. Now they call them a high-level reviewer. On your VA code sheet, they're going to tell who they are. So when we talk about you going for a high-level review, that is a senior level VA employee. It's still at the VA, but it's an individual handling it, responsible for the appeal after a decision has been made unfavorably to the veteran. The DRO, or the DR, the higher level reviewer, main role is to review VA decision letter, evidence, and the VA law to ensure a proper decision was given. Now, if a proper decision wasn't given, they can change the decision. They can make, if it was unfavorable, they can make it favorable if they feel that evidence warrants that. Come on now. Then informal conferences. Now, look, if you've had those that didn't get to respond, or you can respond again. If you've requested an informal conference before, put IC in the chat for informal conference. I have. If you've requested a formal conference, put an FC in the chat. I have not. God dog, I ain't know y'all been commenting like, oh, Betty Bop's in the house. Betty Bop's in that. Man, I didn't know this thing was, oh Lord, I feel horrible. I didn't know. Okay. She say, Betty Bop says, H-Town, I'm sorry. I'm in Birmingham, Alabama, still East Coast thinking. No problem. Now, sister, look, we honored you tonight, so we got to go back to it. So let me pull myself up on the screen, and we're going to take time for those of you that watching recorded. Hey, this is an interactive live stream. And then Brother Charles say, Betty Bob Shipmate, welcome. H-Town has been thanking you. Yes, I have. And about to thank her again, because she's the reason for the season. Sister, let me tell you something what you did. You open up a can of worms, and we want to thank you. We want to thank our sister Betty Bob now that she's in here. Thank you. What do we want to thank you for? And I apologize for not, let me put myself on the screen too. I apologize for not getting to that email fast earlier. You've been telling me, because we went over that law step by step, didn't we, family? Did what Betty Bop's bring in, cleared a whole bunch of stuff up, didn't it? When the VA give you a runaround about claims, about accepting. She told us last time that you can get your doctor at the VA to fill out a public DBQ. You can use their medical notes as a way to get your claim approved if it shows a nexus. Come on now. Thank you, Sister Betty Bobs. Thank you so much for that. We went over that. Now let's see what I missed. Say, I've been, yes, of course I thank it. And y'all Navy, y'all look out for each other. They say hi to Betty. We gotta honor our sister. We ain't worried about that. You family. Betty Bob, you the first one in here. Evening, Mama. He said, Evening, Mama, how are you doing? Yes, indeed. Coach said, how are you doing out in Georgia? She's in Birmingham right now, I think. And then they say, Betty, no. And they hollering at her, everybody speaking. When I say hollering, she said, Kevin Colbert Sr. said, 20 hours on Amtrak, rumbled at nice and was resting alone at Amway. And they saying hi to each other. Everybody saying hi. Talking about that train. She say 17 watching, 19 likes. Family, are we doing it now? Betty Bobs, you wasn't here, but I'm going to tell you what happened. By the time that video was over, and you played a large part of that, you, Alaska Nice, and everybody in the chat, our brother Charleston, and our brother M.G. Smith, and everybody that was a Kevin family, we had over 300, listen to me, 300 and about almost 20 views before we was done with, by the time we done with the live stream. Come on now. Army Joy say, yes, chapter 35, I have looked it all up. Okay, we got a video on that too. And they saying hello, and they saying hello. Everybody saying good evening. I try. They say VA still doing, don't ask, they don't tell. Oh, I like that one. And everybody saying hi. And okay. And Kevin say he had an informal conference. I had just a informal. But so let's see. Last night I said, okay, help. Okay, everything all right. Now, Alaska Nice, Betty Bob said Alaska Nice, the GI doctor found large size P, okay. Olives, okay, see stuff be happening. I'm gonna let y'all talk on that. And hello, good evening. And they're talking to each other, sorry. Now, family, we caught up on the chat. Let's get back to it. Let's get back. We honored our people here. And we're talking about that informal conference. Oh, daughter was approved for chapter 35. Everybody give a congratulations to Alaskan Ice. Has she done Alaskan Ice, the Champ VA Healthcare? Make sure, because she's gonna have to do that and get that Champ VA Healthcare card. Or is that still in the works? So that takes a while. It took my daughter a while. Now, informal conferences and formal conferences we talked about. Formal and informal with the VA. And remember, fraud ain't just from the veteran. The VA be doing these laws, these little slick things where they passed it, the Attorneys Benefits Improvement Act, but they talking about it's the Veteran Improvement Act. And we know better, right? And they did all kind of stuff for the lawyers, but put the veteran name on it. She said, H-Town, I thought about you on the way here. I thought about everyone. Coasty, I was talking to a retired Coast Guard, thought it was you. Do you see what kind of impact we having on each other? Do y'all realize what we're doing? We're adding years to each other's life. Y'all made my life so much, giving me so much purpose in life, and I thank you so much. Yeah, you know, I ain't gonna say so much this and that because, you know, VA may be watching. Now listen, you know, they'll try to use that against you. Now, MG Smith, I was missing you, Betty Bobs. I was hoping you could make it. That sounds like a song, an old blues song. I was missing you, wish you could make it. Now, so Betty Bobs say, congratulations, Alaska Nice. Yes, indeed. Alaska Nice, congratulations. That will be blessing. You know why? Do y'all know what she went through when she first came in? She wasn't even 100% yet when we start this process of this channel. Now our sister is not only being blessed, but her family is being blessed. and we thank you. And she's saying thank you to Kevin and Betty Bobs, to Charleston, thank you. Coastie said congratulations, Alaskan Ice. And then I think Champier ends at 23. Still apply. Alaskan Ice, congratulations. Betty Bobs, still apply. All they can tell you is no. I say outside insurance, let's go to 26. She's 24. Okay, find out, see what they say. We did on Champ VA. Watch our video on Champ VA. We cut it down to only about 37 minutes, I think. Betty Bob say, I think you're right, because my daughter, she about to finish school, so she 22. So she gonna, she won't be getting Champ VA no more anyway. Betty Bob's G. Smith, thank you so much. Trying to make you fall in love with you. Exactly. Come on now, family. Now let us continue. We getting this stuff done. Word confusion. Another thing that the VA used. Word confusion. That's a form of fraud and deception. Remember, just because they say because this is something Junior was concerned about. Just because they say you have a permanent VA rating, we saw them re-examining people. They weren't supposed to do that. That doesn't mean unchanging forever. That's saying you're not likely to improve, not that it won't. So watch when they say permanent. It don't mean permanent, even though the VA said that. And another thing that can affect you, of course, if you get incarcerated. So it's definitely not permanent. Family, we going on the VA law. We about to finish this thing up, huh? Are we doing this thing right? Now, let's see what's going on the VA law side of the game. We're going to check to see if there's any update on va.gov. So, family, let me move this thing around. We're about to see, is there any law change? Once we've been doing this, they stopped changing the law. No law change on va.gov since December the 18th, 2024. Since we started breaking it all down, they stopped doing it, so they must be watching. And she said, thank you, Coastie. Because everybody been so nice and such a blessing to our sister. Now, family. Now, don't y'all get upset at this here. Promise y'all not going to get upset. Promise, I got to turn the music off, family. So promise y'all won't get upset, okay? Our president has come up with a great idea. Okay, so y'all tell me what y'all think of this, all right? All right, let me see here. The president, let me pull it up, news. So we might watch a video too, so we're going to do that in a minute. Let's see. Let's talk about the news, family. We'll get to the Congress thing in a second. First, we're going to go to the news. All right, so let's see what the news is. First thing we're going to come up with here. She say, H-Town, I sent you the laws change Friday. Okay, I'm going to get those too. I've been so busy, sister. I'm so sorry. I've been taking care of some personal things. Dealing with my family. My daughter about to come back home. She about to graduate next. Is this May yet? It's May. My daughter about to graduate this month in 2 weeks. She's going to have a master's degree in accounting. So here we go, family. I'm trying to avoid these old advertisements, so bear with me. So the president says, President Trump, here's the news, family. Tell me what you think, Doug, in the crew. He say, the president, this is what USA Today said as May 2nd. The president say, new name for Veterans Day. Trump says he wants to change it from Veterans Day. Well, what does he want to call it, family? He wants to call it Victory Day for World War I. How do y'all feel about that? The president changing Veterans Day to Victory Day. Thank you so much. She say, H-Town, congratulations, Betty Bops. H-Town, congratulate on your daughter graduating with her master's. Yes, indeed. I'm proud of her. And my niece will be graduating with her bachelor's. And most likely, depending on her teaching thing, because she might have to stay. What she gonna do it in December, but depending on when her teaching thing. I told her don't rush it, just take your test. Now, Kevin say when it comes to the president changing it to Victory Day, he say boo. Now, Kevin, come on, see you. Thank you. He say, oh, Betty, okay. Oh, y'all talking to each other. Now, but that's what he says. President Trump says this. He say, wants to rename Veterans Day. President Donald Trump wants to rename Veterans Day for to Victory Day for World War I as a way to celebrate the United States military victories, he said in a social media post on May 1st. How you going to celebrate? I don't want to be celebrate the veteran. Why you got to limit it to war? Why you want to celebrate a war campaign and not veterans? That's the more that I'm special forces, or I killed as many as I could. Man, we don't need that kind. We're not celebrating war, in my opinion. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about it. I believe in celebrating veterans, all veterans, not no war. Okay, that's my opinion. But I want y'all to have y'all's. He also said he'll push to recognize May 8th as Victory Day for World War II. So he's celebrating wars, not the veterans. I'm confused. We are going to start celebrating. This is what he said. Quote, we are going to start celebrating our victories again. Trump wrote on his social media platform, True Social. What I wonder about this here then. Why don't he just make separate days for his victory days? Why he got to take us out of the equation? I don't like it. That's my opinion, but I want to know y'all opinion. Y'all can have whatever opinion you want. We are going to start. Okay, you said Veteran Day is a federal holiday recognized each year on November the 11th. It marks the day when fighting ceased in World War I. Okay. Yeah, we're already acknowledging World War I. Now listen to what they said. Oh, boy. Alaska Knight say he changed his mind. It made 0 sense. Okay, he changed his mind. Because somebody told him that's dumb. If you don't acknowledge the people that are in this, that join the military and make that sacrifice, I don't want to hear what you talk about. Going in the military is a sacrifice. Kevin Colbart Sr., DEI. Remember, he didn't join because he had shin splints. That's what the president said. He had shin splints. Now, family, we're going to go on. We got that out the way. Now, more news. We're going to go back to what Congress said. Okay, we're going to talk about that. We talked about, and we're going to react to the part of the video when we talked about overdeveloped claims. So we're going to let it play. Oh, look, did they change the name? Listen to what our brother say. Is this, he said, another silly idea. This from Coasty. Another silly idea like the Gulf of America. Remember, he wanted to write all his name on all the checks that we got, the stimulus checks we got. So, I guess we shouldn't pick on our president because it does not look good for other people to hear us picking on our president. Okay, here we go. Now, I hope I turned the music off. So now we're going to get to it. Now, this time we're going to let it play. For those of you that weren't here, or we're going to let this is talking about fully developed claims. And the information that we went on over played it out. We're going to go into more detail here. Let us go. So we're going to get ready to play this. This is a reaction video. Fair use, family. This is for educational, informative purposes. And this is Congress talking here. So let's get into it. And he's actually a member, a veteran, and I think he was Special Forces, but I don't hear him really bragging about it, but he was in special. Well, he did say he's like the only Special Forces, or he's the youngest or something. I don't know what he was saying, but he seems pretty cool to me because he talks fair, but he's a politician, I know. Now listen to what they're saying about fully developed claims, meaning you got everything to make a decision, your DBQ, or whatever evidence we just talked about, or overdeveloped claims when they make you go to CMP exam anyway. Listen to what he's saying.
Disability compensation exams. For VA disability compensation exams, VA cannot make a decision on a veteran's claim until all development is completed. Although I hear from veterans about how frustrating the wait is for a decision to be made, many times VA effort to obtain records and or exams leads to an award for disability compensation. On the other hand, overdevelopment is when VA takes unnecessary steps to obtain records or exams.
Sorry about that. Overdeveloped meaning they already got enough information to make a decision. They say, you know what? Yeah, you went to that private DBQ. We still gonna send you to a CMP exam. That's overdevelopment. You've submitted all the evidence. They say we need more evidence. They said they didn't get the evidence, but you got a stamped copy that you did it. That's overdevelopment. Time wasting. Now listen what our sister say. He wants to make a change. One complaint from a veteran, the whole line of people dealing with our claims should be suspended without pay for 2 years. The whole line of people dealing with our claims should be, yes, they should be, for 2 years. I like that. We're going to talk about what punishment. Let's finish this.
Example, if existing documents in the veteran's claims file are sufficient to support the claim, VA should not schedule a government-funded disability exam. Overdevelopment forces veterans to wait longer than necessary for a decision on their claims and can lead to incorrect decisions. Unnecessary exams also waste veterans' time and money. Further, if a veteran misses a VA scheduled exam.
So remember, it wastes your time and your money when they send you, because remember, I told you, and you can lose your house, and it could cause problems in your marriage, and your children may not be able to go to college. Come on now, without struggle. You might, because the benefit don't come in a timely manner. Or they may not have health care for your dependents. Now listen what he say.
This is a VA scheduled exam without good cause, and they do not reschedule. VA automatically denies the veteran's claim, even when it was unnecessary for VA to schedule the exam in the first place.
So that means even if that's why you need to quote that law that Betty Bops gave us, that when you submit a public DBQ, quote the law that say if this is sufficient enough, and they got to prove that it's not sufficient. If you have everything filled out properly, the doctors put their credentials and contact information. If they looked at your whole claim file, and they checked the necessary boxes and did the necessary medical procedures, evaluation procedures, then they should approve it. But they say, nah, you're going to go anyway. You're going to refute and say, the VA law says you're supposed to consider this. And you write the VA law down. That's how I got my 100% permanent total. I started quoting the law. And I told them I want this, this, and this. and I put the law that said I should get it. Huh? I was too embarrassed at first. Listen what the sister, if you want to know what the congressman's talking about, Sister Betty Bobs just put it there. 38 CFR 3.326 Part B and C. Family, read A2. But B and C is going to take it home for you. Huh? Thanks to our Sister Betty Bobs. Let me pull you back up on the screen again. Thank you. Y'all always coming through for me, family. Coasty told me some things about when the Coast Guard member's wife got taken off the base. I didn't know. He explained how that worked. And I really appreciate that, because I didn't know how it worked in the Coast Guard, that even if they're on a naval base and they're in housing, he broke that down for us. Thank you. Y'all always coming through. Now let's listen.
HR 2137, the Review Every Veterans Claims Act, will absolutely fix this injustice. Overdevelopment also drives government waste because VA pays contracted exam vendors for every exam, even those that were not necessary.
So you already got a public DBQ that you might have to pay the doctor to do. They say, nah, your money wasted, don't matter to us. We ain't got to pay for it. We just going to use government money to do it, to do a C&P exam. Now, Kevin said, I thought the rater supposed to put in the notes saying that, saying why that DBQ is insufficient. That's VA law. Yeah, they supposed to. But what did we say? What H-Town tell you tonight? That they outlaws. Didn't I tell you that? That sometimes they don't even acknowledge that you turn in the public DBQ. They just schedule you for one anyway. They supposed to say, listen, like you say, they supposed to say, if you put in a public DBQ, that the information is insufficient and why. Am I wrong? Am I lying? Somebody let me know. And it don't even have to be a DBQ. It could be something in your VA medical records that can help you win your claim without going to a C&P exam. You can submit that too. And they got to say why that's not sufficient. But you need to point that out to them what it is, because they're not going to read it without you putting it in their face. Come on now.
In fiscal year 2023, about 2.4 million exams were completed, a number that rose to approximately 3.2 million in fiscal year 24. Contracted exam vendors were paid nearly 95% of those exams. In December 2024 report.
Hold on. Listen.
2024 report in the fiscal year 24. Contracted exam vendors were paid nearly 95% of those exams. In December.
So those exams, almost every last one of those examiners got paid for. That means that's a real good hustle, right? You know, I know some of them need it, but if you already done one, why they disrespecting you by sending you to another one? They don't trust yours. They want the one that they control.
2024 report. In the 2024 report, the VA Office of Inspector General, the IG, found that VA spent about $1.4 million on unnecessary exams from April through September 2023. The total amount of wasted taxpayer dollars each fiscal year is likely much higher. The OIG review did not cover the full fiscal year or examine all types of claims of decisions, both approvals and denials. We have heard from OIG and the VA employees that overdevelopment mistakes are due to an inadequate training. Claims processors, as well as confusing and inconsistent guidance.
Ain't no guidance. They doing it because it's culture. Because they're breaking the law. They don't say it because we're not trained properly. We're not trained to file claims, but they say we committing fraud if we don't answer everything truthfully and correctly and do it right. They say it's fraud. But when they are trained and experienced, and that's their job description, it's not fraud, it's inadequate training. Did I tie it in right?
To address overdevelopment, VA created an overdevelopment reduction task force.
We went over this last time, but we had to go a task force. Now they got a task force. They made another group that can make money. What is this task force, this overdevelopment task force supposed to do?
This task force recommended dozens of actions, including targeted quality reviews, updating policy guidance, and increased training.
Hogwash. It need to be some increased punishment. If they don't have teeth, if Congress can't make them do right, how in the world this committee gonna make them do right?
I look forward to hearing from VA today on the progress made in implementing the task force's recommendations. Particularly, I'm interested in whether the VA has implemented a plan to evaluate the effectiveness of its efforts using clear, result-driven metrics for success. And I would like to hear about any efforts VA is undertaking to further enhance its strategies to decrease overdevelopment. Finally, I look forward to discussing whether VA will implement technology to ensure that every claims processor who overdevelops a claim learns from that mistake.
So anybody any claims rep that overdevelop a claim, they're not punished. They're not prosecuted like veterans are. They are what? They should just learn from their mistake. What if we make a mistake when we fill out paperwork, but they say you lied and we're going to get you for fraud? Why they don't just tell a veteran, you need to learn from your mistake? Because sometimes we do things not knowing, we get confused sometimes. They say, no, contradiction. They don't tell us to learn from our mistakes, do they?
The National Work Queue, also known as NWQ, electronically distributed the majority of VA claims workloads across all regional offices. The National Work Queue has largely decreased decision wait times, thankfully.
See, they're dealing with numbers. Decreased wait time, it don't talk about the quality of the decision claim of the claims that they are deciding. It's just talking about, oh, wait times are less, but that don't mean the quality of the decisions that are being made are better. Please. Now let's see what our brother Charleston says. He say, in 2019, I had first CMP exam. In 2020, second CMP exam. Wow. Same one again. Wow. Now you talking about the same CMP exam? He say, you going to jail. Yeah, if we do wrong, we go to jail. They get more training, huh? If a cop popped me and capped me and I ain't had no weapon, but they say I did, he get training. If he kill a black person, he kill a white person, they ain't trying to hear that. He going to jail. But if I do something to defend myself, I get the electric chair. I probably ain't gonna make it there. They gonna take me out in the street. Now, M.G. Smith, yes, that's what it sounds like to me. Y'all gotta listen. Congress, this is a veteran right here. I'm worried, family, because this is a veteran. We're gonna stop there. We're gonna go over this here. We're gonna finish the rest of this video. It ain't but 38 minutes going forward, okay? So that we did a lot of information tonight, family. In 2 hours and 30 minutes, we covered everything. Family, I hope we did a good job. Now let's just talk about what's on your mind. What do y'all think about that? Why do you think Congress is using a soft glove dealing with the VA? Do you think they need to be more strict with them, hold them more accountable? Do you think that they no? He's a veteran. He is not one of us. Hold on now. Hold on. I need to ask y'all a question. Now I got to come up with this here. Come up on the screen. Are you telling me, family, that when someone becomes a politician, when a veteran becomes a politician, they are disqualified from being a veteran? What about the astronaut? He seemed like he the one, got a twin brother. They were astronauts, and his wife, one of them wife had got, she was a Congress lady and she got somebody pew-pewed her, but I think she lived. So can any veteran that becomes a politician be trusted? Can any veteran that becomes the Secretary of the VA be trusted? Betty Bob say, no, he is not one of us. So going into Congress disqualifies them, is what you're saying. Family, let us know how you feel about it. Let us know. Come on, we're going to talk. We're going to run information about the channel. Here's our mission statement for those that are here. Now, listen to what Brother Charleston says. Family, we got 22 people in here. Man, the channel has been off the chain by y'all supporting. That gets me more energetic. That gets me more excited. Like I say, here at the H-Town Vet, our goal is to be respectful, informative, interactive, protective of people's privacy and space, transparent, and troll-free. So if you don't agree with something I'm saying, you can come up here on the screen. Huh? Now, none of those other veteran channels gonna do that. You come up here, you come on video. Yeah, you can come in the chat and say what you feel. Charleston, more accountable, but Congress does not want to upset Orange Baby. You're going to have to stop naming my president all kind of names. He used to be the Orange Man. Now he's the Orange Baby. Yes and no. What do you mean by yes and no? Okay, so do they lose their credentials as a veteran once they become a congressperson or seek office? He says, Kevin said yes and no. He says they are tainted. Now, 22 watching, 20 likes, family. We doing this thing. Now, these are some of our new releases. This is the one we was talking about, the fully developed claim, but then the VA have you jumping over another hurdle with an overdeveloped claim saying we want more information. Come on now, family. And here's some of our other videos. My actual road to 100%, family. It is right there. My road. Watch this video where I tell you how I got 100%, my struggles, and this should help you. And I asked y'all some of y'all struggles so other people contributed. Now listen, MG Smith says, I don't think that the Orange Baby hire can be trusted. So you saying if he hired him, they suspect if he brought him. Now this was another popular video talking about progress of the channel, progress in our personal life, past, present, and future. I don't know why that was so popular. And the one we did when a veteran passes away. Please look over this because we have the information that you need. Now let's see what Brother Kevin. Now these are the rules, family. We have rules on the channel. Those that are new to the channel, and let me see what they say here. Our brother Kevin says corruption at its finest, no matter if he or she is a veteran, that is a status thing, but they got to go along to get along. Oh man. Why they don't let us veterans as individuals? Some of you, we asked this question earlier. Why they don't let us go in there and talk? Why they won't let us H-Town go in there and talk? Why they won't let Betty Bops go in there and give her view on things? Why it has to be somebody through a service organization or some other type of organization, not the regular grassroots veteran? Why not the grassroots veteran? Now, listen, Betty Bops, this is a poor veteran dream job. Oh, hold on, I have to say that again. This a poor veteran dream job. They become a puppet. They don't want to lose that status to rubbing shoulders with the big wigs. So you think they less concerned about us and more concerned about their immediate situation? Huh? Talk to me. You say they concerned about their immediate situation. Come on, family. We going through this real. Come on, talk to me. Those rules, family. First, those of you that are new, And I'm gonna pull this up when if you keep somebody cutting up. The other person the other night, they got it right. You know, they was kind of, I said, all right, and they stopped it. You get the warning first, but I'm gonna start pulling it up, and then put your chat, whatever you said that was out of order, right next to it. Then if you cut up and just keep cutting up, we're gonna give you the day off, and we're gonna put what you said next to it. We don't have those kind of problems. We usually can talk and not do that with my regulars, but people that come in, they tend to come in with little slick stuff. We built up a camaraderie and a respect here. So even if we get a little off the chain, we got a grace period here because we are family. We have a history of dealing with each other. So yes, I'm going to show favoritism and deference toward the people that can help me build this channel because you are an important part. You will get checked too. I even give myself a timeout. I can't be giving myself no timeout, family. That hurts my feelings. Now, Betty Bob says, H-Town, they don't want the truth. Yes, they are concerned about losing that big house. So they don't want to get voted out. And if they start caping for and supporting veterans too much and telling the truth about what veterans are going through, they might lose their job. So why they keep using us as a look, I love the veteran, only with lip service. We not seeing it day to day. There are some things that are changing, but slow and hard. We've put pressure on them. Now, that's one thing I can say about veterans starting veteran channels. This does put pressure. Now, if you keep cutting up after you get your warning, you might get the night off so you can come to the next live stream if you're acting better, or you're going to get that permanent vacation. Y'all know how that works. Ain't nobody too big for that permanent vacation, huh? They think they are. And I don't care who. Y'all don't remember what I said that night when I got rid of that expert troll? I said, now let me say, I said this. Now y'all tell me if I'm lying if I didn't say that, those that were here. I said, if all of y'all leave, I'll talk to myself in here. If y'all want to go with him, y'all can go with him. Did I not say that? Now, I didn't want y'all to leave, but I don't want nobody here that don't want to be here. If he had contaminated you like that, or you thought he knew more, go with him. Did I not say that night? Tell me if I'm lying. Yeah, man, that blew their mind. Hold on, each time say y'all can leave too. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna cry when y'all leave. Huh? Yeah, had a little something in my eye. Then why they do me like that? I ain't worried about it. Give me some more friends. Now, we have our live streams on Sundays, which is tonight, and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Central Time. Thank you. Now look what they said here. She said, H-Town, 19 hours talking to vets, the wives, my train room attendant. Okay. Wow. Well, see, you got something to talk about, though. See, we've been on here almost 3 hours, but we have something to talk about, fam. And we will have unscheduled live streams sometime on Tuesdays, but it could be any random day. Come on now, family. And you want to contact us. All right. Here's our contact and donation information and a link to our channel, our handle at H-Town Vet Northside, family. If you haven't done so far, how we looking on those likes? Man, my African neighbors, they don't never make a whole bunch of noise. This African live behind me, ooh, they daddy turned 80. They went full tribe over there, boy. They got them beats and that music, and they doing them Afro beats and all that. Which was a woman helped him develop Afro beats, the African that started it. He was first singing about food. He said, nah, he had to go to sister, one of my sisters from our culture in California, and she taught him, and he started listening to James Brown, and he got the game. He went back, and now he did it his own style now, but he got the game from our Black American sister here. I think she's still alive too. Betty Bob's Talk to me about his son retired getting treated bad about the VA. Now, who said that about their son retired? Oh, the one on the train. Oh, now 20, 20 watching, 20 likes. I like that. Do y'all know when we threw, we had over 34 likes and over 320 people had watched. Come on, family. He say, Charleston say, H-Town, any live Dougie this week? I don't know. We haven't threw him in. He's not in the mix yet. Do you want me to give you a heads up? He say, shipmate, don't upset yourself. Nah, ain't nothing yet, but he's the gift that keeps on giving. I ain't gonna lie. He put his foot in his mouth, and I'm not gonna say he lying, but he sure put it. I haven't caught him in a straight up lie, but he said some little shady stuff now. Share, make sure y'all share these live streams, the one tonight in particular. And subscribe if you haven't done so, if you're in the room and you're not chatting. Now the after party, and we got some other people we want to thank. I want to thank Alaskan Ice, Charleston Bionic Woman for all the articles that you send, and for others. I'm going to start thanking y'all too, okay? But thank y'all for the support, the kindness, and everything. Now, but guess what I found out? I found out that that Congress gonna start doing right, and they're gonna let some of us come in there and talk to them. Right? The lie detector determined that was a lie. that was a lie, family. Any last statements, comments, concerns, let us know here, family. Anything y'all want to say. Betty Bops said, Betty Bops here, we thank you. And whatever y'all want to, y'all can keep chatting if you want to. To Brother Charleston, thank you for being here. Thank you for the comedy relief. Thank you, Sister Betty Bops, for the information, the core of the information that we had here tonight. Thank Brother Kevin for breaking it down, letting us know how he feel about politicians that are veterans. Thank you, brother MG Smith, for staying. We caught talking about the orange baby tonight. You know, you better stop quoting and quoting our doggone Brother Charleston. He got some zingers, boy. He got some real turns for you. He up there in Philly. They some smooth talkers. And Betty Boss for keeping up with the likes. We got 24 likes here, family. If we're gonna play catch up, family, we doing good up in here. Now, I like Kevin answer when he said yes and no. We want to thank. Let me go see who else in here, family. Brother Coasty, thank you for being a rider. That Gulf of America. Oh, Sister Alaskan Nice. What can I say, sister? You've been breaking it down left and right. Thank you so much. And then make sure I don't miss nobody. If I miss you, charge it to my head and not to my heart. Brother Gary, keeping it solid. We thank you, brother, for finally coming up and stepping up. See, family, when we build this, when people come in silly, they going to stand out. Huh? They talking foolish, they going to stand out. But yeah, see, I know what y'all say. What H-Town, why you keep talking about doggone trolls? Because I want to let them know you got all Gary. We got, let's see who else we missed. Brother Army George, we thank you so much for your support coming in when you did. And Better Bops, don't worry about the fact that you were, you busy, you traveling. You and that other brother always, I forget his name. He always, when he's on a cruise, he said he was going somewhere else. So that's probably why he hadn't contacted. He gonna tell us, he be contacting us from ships and stuff. cruise ships. Better spend time with your family, partner. Sister Gwendolyn finally came through. She broke it down tonight. And we hadn't heard from Farm Girl. She had to eventually leave because she had to go feed those chickens and goats and the horses. And Farm Girl Rebel, we thank God for her too. We really appreciate, because she's always been. And our other sister out of between Austin and San Antonio, New Brunswick. I forget our sister, I think Crimson 04. We thank God for her. She wasn't here tonight, but she's always been a one. Y'all know we got a lot of people that don't come every night, but we got over 100 people that are solid, that's true to the channel. You don't have to come every night to be true. I like what Gwendolyn say, Jesus turned it up. Yeah, he ran them people out the temple. He didn't like hypocrites. Jesus just didn't like them. He didn't care for hypocrites. We trying to make sure we ain't missed nobody. I know Brother Dennis Sitter said something up here, so thank him. Even I may miss his name. I hope I don't miss it. But we thank Brother Dennis Sitter. There he is. Thank Brother Dennis Sitter in the house. He comments from time to time, but he's always in here most of the time, and I appreciate him. And family, I got to shout y'all out because y'all have been so incredibly patient, kind, and respectful. This is so important that we have this type of environment. Now, let me get to y'all comments down here. All right, let me get down, see what y'all been saying. We got Rose City D. Hold on, where Rose City D at? Was he here? I don't think he was here. MGS say no. Now let's see what you got here. Let me see, make sure I don't miss anything. The weather will get dicey the next week. Tell me how the weather is where y'all at right now before we leave. Let us know, family. We've been in here almost 3 hours, family. Did we go over the information thoroughly? Was it confusing? What was your understanding? Did we do it right? Let us know. What can we do to make it better? Let us know. Kevin says, waiting on my DBQ for my lower back, foot condition, and lower radiopathy. Charleston says, safe travels, shipmate Betty Bob. So how are you contacting us? How are you able to get good internet while you're traveling, Betty Bobs? Let us know. I'm not going to call him orange anymore. I don't want to get suspended. Oh, Lord. Now, Betty Bob says, thank you, Charleston. I'm leaving tomorrow evening. Tell me, is that food pretty decent on the train? Because I want to start taking train. I love trains. H-Town, I am leaving at 5:45, back out, be back Tuesday, 3 p.m. Well, we're going to have that live stream on Thursday. MG Smith, no, that he wasn't in here. Thanks, MG Smith. So Rose City D was in the last one now. He wasn't. He was in the last live stream. Charleston, she's talking to him. Say great live session. Hope y'all have a great week. Well, tell me, let me for you. Some of you might leave. Let me know what the temperature is where you at. Right now, the temperature where I'm at is 72 degrees. The high of 83 and the low of 58. Now, Wesley, you can tell me the weather or the temperature. Coasty say it is. Kevin say it's 58 degrees in Memphis, and Coasty say 57 degrees up in Massachusetts, and it's drizzling. Okay, you know my granddaddy say my granddad. I say it's drizzling. Granddaddy say, boy, it's not drizzling. It's raining. I ain't gonna ever forget. Yeah, there ain't no such thing. He say rain is just rain. I guess I should say rain lightly. But I was a kid, you know.
Now, cold and rainy in Cooksville. I hear you, MG Smith. Now, family, did you learn something new tonight? Some say you didn't know about claim substitution. Did anything we put out help you to clear your mind, or you learned something new? Let us know. Now, Gary says 70 clear skies in Midlothian, Texas. That's right below Fort Worth and Dallas, kind of in between. The road go through that. It's a very clean and beautiful place. Beautiful day. That's a beautiful place. I love going through Midlothian. Charleston say 66 degrees and cloudy. And MG Smith say Betty Bob says travel. Now Betty Bob says 64 here in Birmingham, Alabama. I'm at the Fairfield Marriott. I love the Fairfield Marriott. I love the what's the other one? The one I like, Courtyard. I love the Courtyard. And it's a third one. Oh, I'm so in love with those. I signed up one time. I just don't travel as much. My daughter used to love hotel rooms. She still love them. Oh God. I get them their own room when I can, when we not in a rush, but I get them their own room because they grown now. And heck, I be wanting to walk around my room chilling. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time, man. People in the shoot. So, I get them their own room. When we went to Dallas, over at the base, the military base, the naval base at Fort Worth. Wish we had more time to stay there. Now, say the hotel chain across the street from University of Alabama. It's cool, 58 degrees this evening and windy. Blowing makes it cold. It's clear. Okay. Say yes. Learn about the VA RAT wheel. Oh boy, that RAT wheel. Yeah, that what's the name was telling us about that wheel. He said, the hamster, I had to get something like that. That's from Love. Trump wants to reopen Alcatraz. Just heard on news. What does this guy do? They have anything for him to do? Can they give him a Lego set to play with or something? God dog, man, I ain't trying to pick on the president. He said, yes, that the fortune wheel for our boy. That's one made me smile. Well, we need to smile sometime. Well, family, I want to thank y'all. Let's say good night to each other, family, because I already said good night to everybody. Let's say good night, and I'm going to pull up the screen, and let's say our final goodbyes. We just been here 3 hours and 2 minutes, and we did a good job. And I'll know but when it's over with how many people is actually watched it. Like I say, we have 1,813 subscribers. We're trying to make it to 2,000. Now we got 1,814 subscribers. Correction. All right. And let me tell you what's going on. Let me see. Right now with the video we have 155 views. Family, we doing this because y'all are entertaining, informative, compassionate, and not troll-free, interactive, and all that. And y'all putting out good information. Now, Betty Bob says, thank you, MSG Smith. Trump is opening it up for all those lying VA people. Lord, that's what he opened it up. He opening up Alcatraz for them. This man out of control. They lie, don't they? Let me see. And then Charles say good night, H-Town and family. Everybody, if you can say good night, say good night. We don't want to say good night, but we done 3 hours and we got through the information. We've able to do it in a way interactive where you can say how you feel about things. And we have the after party. If y'all have anything you want to say, you still got time to do that. I'm not leaving until you get whatever you need addressed. And we hope that our brother Kevin Colbert Sr. do good He's having it, I think, a CMP exam for his back and something else he mentioned a little bit ago. Coach to say good night, family. Do you see that? Y'all see that? We family here. You understand? We talk about family. Betty Bob say, H-Town, have a beautiful week. Line VA people that work at the VA. And you know what's the trip about that? They want to holler real quick how they veterans when they're about to get fired. But when it's time to help us, you see how you wouldn't know that in them with veterans, the way we get treated, not many, most, because some are cool, but with that practice that they have, that culture, that VA culture, we don't feel like fellow veterans do it. Because you know what they be saying? Heck, I gotta work and they gonna be getting more benefits than me. Some of them say that. Huh? Be a little hate. I don't qualify for that. Now, when they do get their claims done, they can't get it done at their VA office. They have to send it out to another VA office when the VA employees file for claims. Did y'all know that? H-Time, beautiful week. Oh yeah, they be lying. And say, good night, family. Hearing from all of you made me feel so much better. I feel better because I was a little upset, and I'm going to chill tomorrow. I might water my grass and put a little miracle grow on my plants and my hedges. So family, we just want to thank y'all for being so incredible. Here is for the night. This is the topic. I hope we answered the question. Why does the VA often label favorable medical evidence as insufficient or inadequate? And we answered it. One, because of VA culture. One, because the other one is because they lie. All right? And they don't do their job properly. And we want to say good night, family. Thank y'all for being here. And we'll see you on Thursday. Good night.